by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Legion Lenovo, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
Welcome back to Conference Day here at ESL Pro League. So many matches going on at once, everyone vying for a couple playoff spots. G2 has locked in their position, their place in the playoffs.
Good.
I got through that sentence.
Good.
Did you like Conference Day? I feel like this day should have a special name.
In terms of sporting, what is it actually? Isn't the conferences like the East and West Coast in basketball?
Yeah, so I mean, it depends on where you are, but there's like different conferences and then different divisions
hockey,
within each conferences. Yeah, so.
But this wouldn't really be considered Conference Day.
No, yeah, we should come up with a better name. We'll give it a thought.
Yeah.
Maybe by the end of the day we can have
tweet at us and we'll come up with a better name.
Tweet at us and use the hashtag ESL Pro League.
And we'll give you no credit for it.
Yeah, respond. We'll respond.
Maybe I'll like your tweet.
Those are a hot commodity these days. We are going to hop back into G2 versus FaZe. That's going to be the next matchup that we're going to feature here in the mainstream.
I just want to say, I feel like we've disappointed everybody, Jason. That was the hot match, and it was cold.
Yeah, it was like that leftover burrito that you put in the fridge and you nibble on a little bit later.
Yeah, the way the rice congeals.
Yeah, with the sour cream.
Yeah.
And the cheese isn't very...
That's kind of what that match felt like.
Some of the salsa drips all towards the bottom, so you have an uneven distribution.
Well, I don't know if it's going to get any better for FaZe on Cage, right? We've seen them have a lot of troubles on this map recently, even though it's one that, you know, they kind of made their name on, especially with that a much different roster, right? Like, we're talking almost the whole roster.
You're pulling the Henry G, doing your FaZe analysis from 2 years ago in a different lineup.
Yeah.
I like it. Well,
I learned from the best.
So here's a good way to put it. If you're FaZe and you need to win 2 maps to qualify, I don't think they'd be upset with Inferno and Cash as the 2 maps that they would have to qualify.
Yeah, I guess they need 1 map now, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but like saying it going into this, right? If they have 2 maps to qualify, yeah. I mean, if there's like a pick ban phase for a BO3, I think there's a good chance that we see Inferno and Cash.
For sure.
Yeah, FaZe would like them.
Yeah.
So plenty of chances here. It's just all about we haven't seen FaZe put together a full game since they got back from Sydney.
Yeah, and just the way that they got run over in that match it was just crazy, right?
This is the strength of G2, right, though? This is why we say, look at the players they have. They have 3 players that, if they go off, can take over a game. In that first game on Inferno, you even saw the G2 players tweeting out, thank you, Shocks, for just winning, to getting us into the playoffs.
That's the X factor of Shocks, right? But then you have the X factor of Nika, who will need to step up equally as hard if they want to have any shot at getting to these playoffs, which they definitely do, right? Like, this is a big event. And you play against a lot of teams. We get broken down into 2 groups of 6 when we finally get to the LAN and stuff. And to win like a Pro League, I always think it's kind of prestigious because you put in a lot of time for a Pro League, right? It's like
it's like a lot of
10
investment,
weeks,
right?
and then we have finals. And to win that, you're winning over like a bigger field. I know it's all about getting to the LAN and you have to perform at the LAN, but to come at the top of the league, it's quite a hard thing to do. It's a grind, and we're seeing on this final day right here that it isn't. You know, every game mattered. You're in the position you're in right now because of matches you lost earlier in the season, and now you need to really step up and win the games you have to. Yeah,
and I mean, make no mistake, FaZe is going to definitely have to step up here on Cash. We are going to be getting into that. On the B stream, it's going to be Heroic and Navi. That's going to be with Pansy and Uber. But here, G2 versus FaZe, Sadicus and Henry G.
Yep, it's ready. It's time. G2 taking the first one very convincing indeed. Looking like they're pretty much locked in. Oh, no, we can hear them again, Hank. However, let's hopefully that we won't talk to ourselves again. We can go through with it, but it is FaZe that has to respond and get a map now. Otherwise, they, number 2 in the world, yeah, I'm looking at you, FaZe, might not go through to Dallas.
Yeah, this is a map they've been struggling on recently. We saw them on it last night, not looking too great. The T side's not too convincing. To be fair, the CT's not that much better. G2 with the form they're in tonight, I think they walk away with this with both maps in their favor. They've already qualified. They can take their foot off the gas a little bit, I guess. There's not going to be that much pressure on their shoulders. Maybe that's even better for them. They can just have some bit of fun with it, run around and just find more and more frags. Shoxy and Kenny S in godlike mode tonight. That's a bit of a problem. No one really for FaZe showing up. That was a problem on Inferno. Nico and Rain at the bottom of the scoreboard. That's not a FaZe team that's going to win.
Literally your 2 best players. Yeah. Well, the Kia's been nuts lately, but yeah, your 2 highest impact fragging players.
Yeah, like Karrigan and Keo shouldn't be the top fraggers. Like you said, Keo very, very good at the moment, but those are the 2 you want at the top. Here we go then in Cash. And FaZe looking desperate at the moment the last couple of nights. We'll see what they can do here on one of their better maps. We'll see what happens. 4 sets of armor and MPK with a Deagle once again. It's a great map for in the pistol, especially on the T side. Go towards middle, try and find those opening picks. He hasn't been boosted up just yet. That's normally where the deagle goes, or straight away towards the mid entrance. But for now, straight line formation. He's in the top left for FaZe. Nico wandering in towards A main. Got a bit of information here. At least got the positional control to shut down anyone trying to face him. But Deagle's ready and waiting.
Ready and waiting. I think that's what we all are to see who's going to qualify tonight. I'm ready. Are you?
So ready.
Good. Good to hear it, Hank. Good to hear it. Now go back and sit down. It's MBK with the Deagle tries to get a shot in. Remember last time, second half, he did open it up. Nico sees shots at the door. Gets himself positioned for them to wrap around. That's quite good, especially because you're taking out Shocks as Rain contributes. You just mentioned as well, those two players bottom of the scoreboard won't work. Well, good way to start, getting kills early on the map. As Rain will back off down behind the ticket. And he's looking to punch one. Gets down Kenny. Done very, very well. All four, I was gonna say all five, and then I cut out the four, so it doesn't really make sense. But all four staying alive, Henry.
Yeah, that's actually not too bad at all for FaZe. Nico looking a bit overwhelmed when they came out the door, but managed to kind of calm himself down, reposition, and start tapping on those heads. Rain comes in and finds 3 as well. So those are the players we're looking to turn up, and they do it in fashion in the pistol round on Cash. And here we go then, 1-0 for FaZe. This time, rifles coming out, 3 UMPs as well. Forced by, of course, from G2 with the bomb not going down. Kenny S joining in as well. Very difficult map for the CTs to hold off the second round, but they haven't got a load of smokes to work with. That's normally a bit of a problem. The bombs planted, they force up in the second round. That's what you've got to deal with, all the smokes and execution potential here. A boost up for Nico. He normally goes in this position. And it's going to be an A-sided attack. That's smoke towards highway for sure. Flash towards the bomb site, but Nico, he's the danger man here.
Good play from Rain, but goes down immediately to Kenny. Dead right in saying Nico is the danger man. Getting only 2, though, before Kenny does respond. Having picked up an M4 on the way into the site, he now becomes a lethal danger himself. He's got head armor to go with it. He's going to go back through A main. So a large backtrack, and he may catch one. Oh, he's just lost it. I think he knows he is going to go all the way. He's relying on Shocks to stay alive at this point because he wants to flank the flank and take out Alu. And he may see him as Alu through the door. He just barely is. Shocks, though, speaking of relying on him, has done very well. This is where he's got to go very fast. Kenny's not going to be there in time. Alu's going to have this. He's already on the defuse. Kenny gets one more kill, but Alu is going to win it just because Kenny was so slow trying to get in position.
I dare say they force into this again. G2 saved an M4, got the bomb down, and it looks like they will indeed. There's another AK coming out. You might as well. You've taken down all 5 CT players. That means they'll have a mixture of rifles and SMGs. Alu does just about manage to bring out the AWP here. So this is a very interesting round. G2 definitely within a shout of it. It's going to be 2 Galils, 1 pistol there, but suddenly enough to work with it. Apex towards middle. Oh, God, there's a nice flick, but can't quite find the headshot there. That would have been very nice indeed to kick things off. So another boost coming in towards mid. Alu, in terms of his position, he's actually in towards B, watching that storage area. Kiyoshima, beneath the boost position. Kenny S above him. It was going to be an interesting area of the map, and it's going to be Kiyoshima to kick things off.
Kiyo will go to the corner. Smoke goes down. Flash is evaded. I'm always impressed at their awareness on how and when to dodge a flash. Nico again boosted up, is going to try and watch off toward A main. Good position, lets them go. Knows there's one in quad. He's going to let them go all the way. Turns around, finds his 3rd potentially. Apex there, but Alu able to take down Shocks. He'll close out on Apex immediately after. It's 3-0 for FaZe. G2 with all the forcing are not going to be in a good position this time around.
Yeah, the force by madness is officially over. Nico boosted up once again, finds 2 more frags there, and Alu chimes in with that AWP. He obviously had a huge advantage there up against just those AKs. He has the 3-0 now brought in for his team. And, oh, it's another force by Matt. Apparently the nonsense isn't over. It's still going.
Yep.
So they kept themselves about $1,000. It's not a full investment, but Kenny S is down to $500, so they've gone with a Galil. 4 upgraded pistols here, a little bit of utility. I'm not sure I agree with this one. Let's see what happens for them. It's going to be a double spray down, making this 1 for Kiyoshima, but quite a convincing round nonetheless. Just Apex survives. So after this round, they're 4 saves lost bonus. That has to be a Nico going forward for sure. It's quite a clean round. Apex finds 1 kill in total, 4 players surviving for FaZe, and we have about 3.5 to 4K per player. So you definitely can get enough in terms of AKs. So Kenny S won't be able to get the AWP out. They'll probably have a mixture of AKs and Galils. So this could be the undoing of G2 here. All this force buying and not finding the rounds. This is why they're so weak. You can see they've got 3 smokes, the AKs, no Molotovs, no flashbangs really. Comes down to raw firepower, and Kinyas without head armor as well. That's a bit of an issue.
Yeah, definitely is an issue. Quickly, 4th round disappeared.
How's he alive?
Shocks. Backed off. Smoke goes down in front. They'll try and work together with Body going in toward the vent position. Instead, Kiyoshima, UMP in hand. It's going to let them push by and may actually catch them off, but they turn and they read it, and NBK gets the kill. So finally, G2 gets something to work with inside of Highway as Rain looks that direction, but goes back to A main instead. G2, Shocks finding the kill there as well. Go on the site. What is Kerrigan just running and gunning? Why not?
That was nuts. Well, it's up to Shoxy now, the 2 versus 1. Alu and Carrigan will be hot on his heels there. It's a decent flashbang from him. He's so good in these cut situations. He needs to make sure they go together. It's 1 by 1, but Alu managed to land the shot. And Carrigan, you're absolutely right. What the hell was that play? Right now the connector. Oh, a bit of BM. I like it. Shooting the corpse.
Alu's not normally one for that.
No, he's not.
I'm going to say Kerrigan's rubbing off on him.
Yeah, Carrigan's been a bit of a nuisance recently with that sort of stuff. His few tweets. To be fair, those tweets are so harmless, and everyone got up in arms about them.
Listen, Henry, I always say my tweets are harmless too.
But his were like, it was nothing.
Oh, but mine aren't.
Well, no, I don't even know what tweets you're referring to. I'm just talking about him specifically. The one that he did after.
I know the one.
The Astralis game, and it's just like, yeah, trap set, tick, whatever, eat your food. Like that was just a bit of fun, and everyone got really upset about it. He almost had to apologize.
No, don't apologize. Why would you apologize for having personality? Goddamn political correctness ruining the world.
Yeah, it's gone mad.
As Alu. Ooh, I knew the timing was off. Nearly walked out to make it work. Lost his courage. Down he goes. That's what you get for being BM Alu. Oof. Kerrigan wanted that AWP, didn't he?
Just about got it. Takes a bullet to the shoulder, but managed to keep 74 HP. So still within a shout this round. It's a 5-on-4. Nothing really coming in from the T side so far. Flashbang towards A main. Gives them map control. It's a very reaction-based map. And Kenny S finds another frag, keeps the man advantage towards the French side.
Shocks open store, fires in and gets away. He's got to get all the way over toward B, though, to join his teammates. They're going to be attacking the site well before his arrival. Question is then, does he swing mid and try and get lurks? And he will indeed. Meanwhile, Kerrigan posted and ready with the AWP. Picked up, gets a far too easy shot on a Body, I'm afraid. BK does pull it back, however, and Shocks did make the lurk work, so he's still got a teammate to work with. Now the question is, okay, Shocks is already inside of the vent. I was going to say, does he throw the bomb back up and let him run back to A, or rely on the smoke and just take the fight with Kiyoshima? He's going to push, knowing that MBK stopped a moment to try and fake out the bomb, but doesn't have the courage to go all the way through because he's not yet heard the plant committed. Interesting underwater noises. Kyo. Shocks thinking he going mid. May catch them off. Oh man, you would have expected it.
Yeah, if Kia hits that shot, he's got a very good chance of winning the round. It's not meant to be. And G2 find their first round and a half here. And you can see how close some of these rounds have been. G2 certainly keeping FaZe honest as we go into round number 7. It has to be not so much a force buy, but kind of a mixed bag. You've got 3 UMPs, an M4, and the AWP. So UMP certainly limited. Cash, though, plenty of close range opportunities for those CT players. And we'll see whether Alu can get towards B. And not going to overwhelm this time. It's actually going to be a B rush from what I can see. They're expecting no AWP to be here. Surely get a flash first. There's MBK with it. Here it comes. Good flashbang. He won't fire off a shot just yet, but he's almost certainly dead. I don't see him actually recovering from this one, but there it is. Ali does get a frag and a chance to survive as well.
Chance to. Alu gets burned alive, though, and Kenny has done well to not only find that kill, but give Body a chance to go back through. Shocks will do the same. Nico last alive. G2 starting to get rolling. 5-1 down. This will go 5-2. Well, we say that. I haven't seen Nico get a crazy clutch in a while, to be fair.
This could be the beginning of one.
It's the start of one. He certainly looks in the right position. Bomb planted, though, makes it a little more problematic. Oh, walled up. Down to 31 from Kenny.
Yeah, but he is fully smoked out of this situation for now. Smoke towards B main and the checkers room as well. He throws that smoke just in front, suggests he might just be walking out of it. And he's gone towards the other entrance, but Kenny S takes him down. A headshot, hit him through the wall once and then through the smoke. And that should be FaZe now with a full EK. 2K per player. G2 managed to string 2 rounds in a row. They found the first kill on the B side of the map, and then it looked like they were going to recover the situation FaZe, but it fell apart. I think this is the force buy. I think, let's be fair, they would have been on a buy next round of the 2400. They've gone all in with CZs, 5-7, and a UMP. It's a bit desperate. I don't think it's going to work out for them, but let's have a look as we go into round number 8. Looks like a counter boost towards middle from what I can see so far, considering the 2 CTs are getting quite close up towards that position. Here it comes. Alu, he won't actually look over. He'll probably just try and hold for information. So just like that on the other side. So to see if a boost comes in return, wait for a sound cue, and then this is a bit of luck, really. Here for comms and your teammates, and just hope you can find the right timing.
Nade over. Bounce back.
Ouch.
Yeah, that got Alu quite good, actually. Got some good, I say. He's still got some back, though. Apex goes down. Got the advantage with these pistols. Body. Trying to spray into the corner and hold them off.
Boosting again in middle as well.
Yeah, why not? It's gone well, and he could push through. There's a gun down there. Back toward big garage doorway, so he's got to go a little bit to get it, but he's got all the time in the world as they walk into B, and they walk into Kerrigan. Good positioning from Kerrigan. So G2, I just said we're getting rolling. They finally break down FaZe's economy, and then this happens. They've got a lot of work, Body and MBK, to make this pull back. The good news is that MBK's gotten very deep in the site.
Yeah, but he doesn't know plays in the event, so he will pre-fire if he gets things in return. But the Kerrigan has to try and save the round. That's a nice kill.
That's very unfortunate for MBK. Pre-fired it, and yeah, timing is off, body's down. Pre-fired it, knowing he was there, and then just as he stopped and ran out of ammo, Kerrigan pops out, one taps him with the pistol.
Well, there it is. I didn't agree with the force by map, but obviously it works out for FaZe. They seem to be the masters of the force by situation. The boost up towards middle. Ali, like we said, if he finds some fortunate timing, he might get a kill. Exactly that happens. He manages to jump into a rifle, funnel them towards B, where Kerrigan does some very good work indeed with that CZ. Nice play from him overall. G2 now, they're the ones with the money situations. They've got a CZ, a UMP, but Kenny S on the AWP. One of his better maps. I've always said that. Cash overall. That's Shoxy burning alive.
Wow, he couldn't hit the shot either. That's unreal. Shox does burn alive, you're right. He's sitting there as a crisp, but they couldn't hit the shot on him, and therefore it was a straightforward op shot from Kenny for 2 kills, to be fair. MBK is going to capitalize and take down Kerrigan. It's pistols again that could capitalize overall, Henry.
It looks like the bomb will make its way towards B. Kiyoshima's on the other side of the map. Alu stuck behind the vent as well. Has to make noise here, and surely going to be dead. Oh, close. Takes body down to 2 HP, but that should be the round. Kiyoshima with no kits. Up against 3 players, including an AWP. I think you just have to save his AK. This is a harsh reset for the CTs at this point. I think they have pretty much 0 per player. So Kiyoshima 2400, but overall only $1,400 coming to the next round. So he'll try and do what he can. Maybe take a couple of players down with him.
If I'm going down, you're going with me. Keo. Ooh, I think, did he spot Kenny shoulder? Not quite. Oh, that's a good shot. Body down. MBK's had enough of that game. So G2 get back to within 3 of their opponent, FaZe, who desperately need a win right now.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're just joining us, wondering what the hell we're talking about.
Nothing.
We're calling this conference night, apparently. Is that a thing?
No, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm sorry.
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
What do you call it in hockey or this sort of thing? I guess you don't have this in any other sport. Really, one night of everything going nuts.
Like decision night, I guess. Yeah. Like they do. I mean, it's like the postseason, like the playoff race is what we call it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes sense. That works. We'll call it the playoff race.
Playoff race is fine by me. MBK takes down Kerrigan. I don't mean to be mean to Jason, but I'm being mean to Jason. It's on to Keo as well. 1 versus 5. This was a straight gun round as well. So all things have fallen apart for FaZe. Keo's going to try and go back toward mid. Apex, who's normally very good in this position from any way you like to look at it, is there. And he calls for Body to take the shot instead. It works out wonderfully.
Well, FaZe ball, what they could into that round wasn't a whole much, but it's going to be round number 11, where it's a full eco here. So CZ purchased. I don't think much else will be. Most of the players below $2,000. So G2 a chance to tie things up after this round. We'll see what happens. Round 11, can we call a fast first half, I have to say. Like we were mentioning, FaZe need this to book themselves a place in the playoffs.
Body taking down Keo. And just to give you an idea of some of the other games North and Virtus Pro are playing right now. 7-2. Heroic Na'Vi 6-2. 7-2 in favor of North, by the way. 6-2 in favor of Na'Vi over Heroic. FaZe G2, obviously where we are, 6-5. Fnatic 7, Mouse Sports 3. Nip 5, Hellraisers 1, and Envy 2, Astralis 6 after Astralis lost the first game.
So many games going on. Body's got the AWP again, Matt. You know what that means?
He's got a body. Oh my God, I thought he was going to hit it. You know he did it at Tour, right?
Yes,
He did it a third time. He shoots at 149, and he's so close every single round.
Yeah, that's so fun to watch. Oh, doesn't work out this time.
I'm surprised more people are doing it. Kerrigan's in a perfect
Is he?
coffin. He's in a perfect coffin. It's very cozy and nice.
Velvet lined.
Yeah, velvet lined. Kiyoshima's going to go back and take down MBK. Apex has to back away. 8 HP. You can't really do anything in the situation. So it's back over toward A instead with Kenny on the AWP. Try and work his way in with Shocks. Spots a leg at Cat. So too that leg spotted him because the kneecap has eyes. Don't know where I'm going with that one, Henry. Don't know where I'm going.
Well, for now, doesn't look like G2 know where they're going either. So pretty much default round, and aggression coming from Rain, but he kind of gets flashed by his own teammates there, and Shoxy finds a very easy kill. In return, and it's going to be Kiyoshima. Surely dropped at this point. Well, indeed, it's just frags everywhere. It's madness. Alu now in a 3 versus 1. G2 with a firm upper hand in round number 12. Alu with just an HE grenade, no kit, and the M4. Not known to be a rifler. He's one of the better AWPers with the M4. We'll see whether he can do any sort of damage into this one. I would say not, but smoked out. Needs a bit of luck here. We'll see if anyone even decides to face him.
Good shot from Body.
All right then.
Yeah, that's quite authoritative. That's going to make it 6-6. They pulled immediately back into this.
They were 5-0 down, G2.
Yep. FaZe are having a shocker. A stinker. Is that what you say?
Bit of a stinker.
Bit of a stinker. Stinker? Stinker.
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 Yeah.
Grr. It's fun. We're having a good time.
We like to have fun, huh?
No fun allowed. Kenny has made it over toward B. No one's dropping down from CT side. No one trying to push through with pistols. It's pretty straightforward. And Welitov in all of the angles to make sure no one's there. No stack is present. I like that laser beam on the wall. It's a frickin' laser. We even have Dr. Evil that works here.
Who's that?
Our desk host.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
The
You
king
don't
of
see
the
the
king of
strike-
esports.
The striking resemblance.
Yeah, no, I think about it. Maybe more mini-me.
Oh, that's true, actually. Yeah, good point. Good point. Nico gets the shot onto Shocks. It's NBK, 4 HP. Alu's going to wait. Headshot position, goes for it with the P250, but Apex is too deep inside of the site. He's able to get his whole body exposed in behind the half wall and has immediate result. He goes down. It's body only. And plant for Apex. Good shot as he gets in position to try and make a mission. Accomplish it, of all things. They've got very low HP. They got to be careful. Even that pistol through the door could do enough to either Apex or NBK, but combined, they are the trifecta of doom, Henry, as you
They
like
are.
to say.
Not really much you can do about that. Once it's established, you can see player B main, checkers, and the bomb set. Suddenly, as the trifecta, it's looking a bit scary. And Rain, he can sense it. He'll be falling back. The money will be a maximum stage in terms of loss bonus into the next round. So plenty available for FaZe to work. I would dare say a double upset that comes in. When things get a bit desperate, you lose as many rounds in a row, you bring it out. You try and mix things up. And that will be Carrigan and Alu, or Nico and Alu. It looks like it's going to be the latter here. As Nico's got a very good spawn. He loves to go and squeaky door that up, so watch out for that. I'm going to say that almost certainly happens. Want to put a pie on it?
A pie on it.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So if he goes in the door, I get to cream pie you in the face.
Oh, you like that. It's some weird fetish with you. That one's not quite as close. 149, he shot again. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no.
Oh,
Sorry.
no, he isn't. You get to pie me. It was so close.
All right, Jason, you heard it. You've just laid in a bed of pies, and you're already going back to the beds.
I can't get any worse than that, can it? And a pie in the base has been vanilla
I think
at this point.
Don't challenge me. I'll find a
pun
way to make
intended.
it worse. He has not gone through the door, Henry. I get to pie you in the face. Glad I took that
Oh,
bet.
he's in the door.
Well, glad I didn't take that bet.
They've all
How
passed
is
each
he
other.
not dead? This is so good from Shox. He's actually just let it happen and then walked out to catch off Rain, who thinks, no threat there.
So sick.
Yeah, he's very good, isn't he? He's your favorite, isn't he?
He is.
Called it, fanboy. Kerrigan will take down Shox. Just to this point. Henry, I thought that would have hit from Kenny. That one does, as he gets back away from the Molotov toward A main. He's going to have to hold the position. They've got lots of bodies to throw at FaZe, especially at Kiyoshima, who now finds himself in a 1 versus 4. Tagged, chased. They know where he is. No way out of it. MBK takes him down.
Yeah, I didn't want to get too hyped. I was looking at the mini-maps. Are they all past each other? Is this actually going on?
No, I knew it had, and I was wondering what Shox was up to.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was going to be that clean and crisp.
That second kill as well. There's not
Yeah,
many
the
people in the world that can
second
do that.
It's true, actually.
Like, the fact is to have that awareness, you get that kill, most players would run out. Like, knife out, think, this would be clear. And he's just so ready for it. So fast every single time. Double orb set up now as we go into the final round. He might take a second shot here, body. Doesn't do any damage. But Apex, he does a little bit. He finds a headshot there on the boost position. And that should just slow G2 down now. They've got the early advantage. Wait for the reaction to come in. And Kiyoshima looking at 6s and 7s at this point. This is a bit rough. After going up 5-0 as well, how's it fallen apart so dramatically?
You hate to see it. I think that's what you kids say these days.
Or breaks my heart, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Body's waiting for someone to push through that smoke. No one wants to. They have lost Alu already, so things not getting any better. Apex with that kill, harmless as well. Was Alu in the fight against him? It leaves him. Apex still on maximum health. Rotate a player around immediately in toward connector where that first kill was found. They're going to try and hold it off with Rain instead, as Keo does pick up body. Decent play, but Apex there again to find what is now his second in the round.
Okay.
And that's poor timing from Kerrigan. Animus shot. He's on 12 HP. He's got to be very careful. Thankfully, Rain's close enough that they won't rush through, and he's able to get down MBK, so somehow that bait works. But it's Nico to get Shox, and that's the important one because they are walking in toward the A site. Gets a flash toward A main, but can't find his intended target. Apex firing at the truck has just given himself away. I didn't know Nico was there, surely.
Yeah.
Oh! What? That is ridiculous. In the smoke, Kenny just fires a pop shot, drops down, low HP. He's got 12 seconds to get to the bomb and get the kills. He's found the first. It's highway, though, for Kerrigan. And that bests his position. Kerrigan, who nearly went down at B, ends up winning the round.
What in God's name was that shot for the smoke? Unbelievable. And Kerrigan just about finishes it off. He had 12 HP as well. All it took was one straight bullet from that Tech-9 to actually win that 3-on-1, but not meant to be. After going up 5-0, FaZe do lose the half somehow. It's 8-7 in favor of G2. Still anyone's game, and we'll take a quick break and see who wins in the second half here on Cash.
Well, again, it is FaZe that had a early lead. This time actually better than the 3-1 which they had on Inferno. It looked good. Nico being quite clever, boosted up twice, but G2 getting boosted now, son. They on the gear because they are in the clear as they close out the half in a very convincing fashion. Look at Shox, he's so good.
Yeah, well, G2 have already qualified for the playoffs. It's up to FaZe now to try and pick up this map and guarantee their spot. I don't think it guarantees it if they get this map. I think this comes down to some mathematical formula as to all the other results. I think there's so many
there
different
was
outcomes.
7 teams fighting for 4 spots, and the 4 spots, there was, based on that, there was 35 different circumstances, which also had 20 variables or something, I forget.
So basically, just try and win your games.
Yeah,
Give it a go.
keep it simple, stupid. Just win your games. 6-6, Envy Astralis. Nips still over Hellraisers, 11-4. G2 FaZe, where we are, obviously 8-7. They split the half, G2 in the lead. Fnatic, 10, Mouse Sports 5, Na'Vi 9, Heroic 6. So every game is actually at the same pace, and all of them are at halftime, with the exception of the Envious Astralis Envious Astralis game. Makes sense. Typically, first halves are even. It's the second half based on the score that could be quicker.
Well, the second half pistol begins. Have a look at the buy. Ooh, another cheeky reset.
Cheeky.
Keep us on the edge of our seats. Well, here we go. 4 sets of armor for FaZe. Carrigan, the 1 smoke 2 flashbang combo. 2 options, really. Go towards A, smoke towards highway, flash the site, or go for a straight up B rush and use the smoke towards CT spawn. You can smoke the connector as well, like Carrigan's doing. This could be 3 boosted up towards middle fast. We'll see where this goes. The smoke, to me, I'm trying to work out what that means. So you smoke off connector, maybe just stopping a rotation, just trying to go fast and towards the A site. A lot of teams like to play retake positions. You smoke towards middle. And let's see where this lands. Oh, sorry, that was a decoy through. I thought that was a smoke towards connector. So he still has a smoke towards highway. My bad. There it is.
Well, Apex can play the retake game. He's the one with the smoke and kit. He's going to smoke early as well on this. So he wants to smoke for the retake rather than a ninja or a quasi-ninja. Oh, wow, good positioning. Spots 3 in mid. They know highway is going to be a heavy force to be reckoned with as Apex gets closer. Bomb is smoked off ever so slightly more, so it's that Apex can't see into the site. They're going to try and wrap within the site itself toward quad. Flash goes through. Body's got to hit those shots, and he doesn't. So FaZe have a great chance. But there it is. Apex did go forward in the smoke. He's made it work as well.
That's kind of
I didn't think he was on it. I was wondering if that was going to be what his play was, because the smoke going down isolates quad. I didn't think that was going to be enough.
So I guess, Matt, if you think about
That's
it, right?
pretty cool.
The fact you leave it at a full retake, the T's will always take that opportunity to go for that open plan, right? They're not going to plan safe. So you've got that set smoke that lands in that same position every time. Obviously not guaranteed, but it's a pretty good educated guess. You throw the smoke there, everyone comes in, causes a load of chaos. Your player with the kit just jumps on the bomb straight away. Full defuse comes in and makes him look a little bit silly there. That was actually kind of cool. I like that a lot. Aggressive play. We're not slowing things down at all. The rain and Nico. My God, the Deagle's going to town on G2 now. It's up to Kenny has to try and defend. Doing a good job with the Famine so far. He might just recover this as he finds 3 kills. 2 on 2 now as Shoxy and Body coming in with the UMPs.
So the situation as it looks right now is that FaZe desperately need this win for the reason that they would be tied then with Na'Vi. At least that's what it looks like right now. However, that puts them in a tiebreaker with Na'Vi that I do believe they lose. As Shox gets rain, I'm not really sure what the play was to grab the bomb and just charge at the player who's waiting.
You got your run around a corner with the bomb out.
Yeah, a bit foolish. Very foolish, in fact. Especially as I just finished the point that they desperately need this win. That's not going to help them do so.
So Kirishima now trying to suggest the idea he might be exploring the map right now for Shoxy. Could be going towards B, hoping the mistake comes in from the CT side first, and go the mind games begin. But Shoxy, you have to wake up pretty early in the morning to catch him out.
I haven't heard you use that in a while.
Yeah, I've been keeping it in the chamber, ready to drop it at some point.
How many in the chamber, Henry?
We've got about 3.
Oh,
3 lines. We have ready for
so
one time.
you had 6 chambers
Yeah.
and 3 lines. You are playing a dangerous game of roulette.
Yeah, exactly. Well, 4 spy coming in from FaZe. That was actually a hard eco for them, really. They were trying to save themselves for this one. Round number 3 with the AKs. It's 10-7 right now. Alu fast out towards middle. He's got a player at Sandbags. Just eviscerates him there. Takes down Apex and actually gets a double kill as well, like I said in the first half. He is a very proficient rifler, not just an AWPer.
Kenny trying to spot in through the smoke, won't be able to do so. It's already out in front of him. Tries to hit highway as well as FaZe is taking a lead in the round and a substantial amount of map control as a result of that highway gain. It's over toward B, though, that they still want to take the bomb, and they don't have as much access to the B site as Body will wait in behind the double stack, and Shocks will set crossfire for Cross when they go in. That was a terrible flashbang thrown by his teammate. I think it may have clipped him as a result. Yeah, Kenny. He's trying to throw it in. I think it hit the back of Shocks. Didn't do anything at the site. He goes back over. Alu's already got position, as we said. And down he goes. Shocks. He's going to have to try and get back through mid to highway.
What a round that was by Alu. Boosted up, finds that amazing kill towards the actual sandbag position. Gets the second as he drops down as well. 3 in total. Shoxy managed to take down Kiyoshima. I think these kills are all for naught already. They won't be going for the retake attempt. As we can see, Alu finding his 4th frag, looking for the ace now. That's not bad. Like we said, he's the AWPer, and might be finding the ace with the AK-47 up against a full buy, so that's pretty interesting. In terms of the money for G2, I'm pretty sure they're fully invested into this one. They've had some very dicey rounds up against the Pistols previous, so if Shox can save the M4, that's something. I think they're eager regardless. As he comes in for it,
oh my god, he's going to try it. He's going to, okay, well that takes it away. Alu down, they know he's on it, turn around, killed it. Kerrigan, the man who got a ninja.
Yes.
In Sydney.
That was so hype, wasn't it, in the grand final?
That was unreal. They even said, we were talking to them the day after. Was it that, who were we talking to the day after?
I don't know.
I think it was Nico. Yeah, Nico even said, I thought he was just going in to get a gun. Because that's what we were saying. Like,
yeah.
I think there's a gun behind the white boxes. Boom, on the defuse. All right, then.
Give it a go. Well, looks like G2 will be forcing into this round. They've got Deagle's body armor as well. Kenny Eskies is only about 2k, obviously the AWPer. Trying to see what they can do with 5 Desert Eagles. It's quite a scary prospect. Don't need head armor against the AKs. That's why they've got the body armor there. That's fine. 10-8 though. FaZe desperately trying to find this second map. We'll find a win on this.
Well, it'll go the distance, I think, with the money the way that it is. We're looking 10-9 at this round. The conclusion of this round, if it goes as stats say that it should, rain. Gets the body down, good shot. Continuous tap toward Shocks as well, and they'll smoke him off. Negate any threat. He tries to just fire in and get a luck shot. Bit of a wild card. Chance. Kenny has more vision. He's got damage onto Alu. He's made it work well. I'm surprised Alu doesn't move after he gets hit twice.
There's no reason to stay in that duel, but you know what? He fancied it. So, it's round number 4. AK picked up for MBK. Might want to swap that over considering his low HP. Still a huge advantage for FaZe overall. They've got the bomb down. Yes, only 3 players remaining, but what can you do? You're going to run through the smoke. Let's hope for the best. You've got no kit to work with. It's rain getting done for you. Certainly. There it is.
So Shock's chance to get further damage. They are low, especially Rain. He manages to get that kill, and that kill only, though, as Keo does get us our 9th round, and he slides down the ramp in style. Wow. Dead man style.
That might have been stylish, but this round should be another one for FaZe. Eco here for G2 once again. I'll tie things up at 10-10. So, after having the 5-0 start, FaZe dropped off in the first half almost completely when the gun rounds fully began, and there's Rain with a decent spawn just towards middle, takes down MBK. That's quite a common thing to do if you get a decent spawn towards that mid area. Try and jump in the main entrance. If there's no smoke down, you're almost guaranteed to frag the CT's at that knife, so trying to get towards white box. Alu finds the second as well, and this should be over, bomb planted, and it's just a case of, right, who's got a Mag 10? You go hunting for frags, try and get extra money.
Good play from Rain to take down body. Apex and Shocks get kills returned, but I think at this point, although Shocks does pick up a gun, there's no chance to be able to save anything over. So 10-10, double digits for each. You can use both hands to count how many each team has.
USP with the silencer off, rare to see.
That's my favorite gun of the game.
Yeah.
I actually do that quite often. Out of boredom, typically.
It's weird they did that. Like 1.6 in source had the silencer off by default. Now in this game, keep it on.
Yep. Yep.
Changed it up.
It was weird in 1.6 that you could get halfway through screwing it on and then quick switch. Oh, suddenly it's there.
Off. But it still had the same delay. You couldn't fire, but it visually was off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe in the early versions that wasn't the case.
I'm trying to. I don't remember directly if it was or wasn't, so I'm not going to comment on that. As Rain gets into the closet cubby in mid. It's going to be Apex that goes back to try and retake this position. We already mentioned he's very good at mid. Typically with timing, maybe not with accuracy though. He should have easily, handedly won that duel. However, he's down to 11 HP, tagged off. Kenny gets aggressive. Doesn't hit it through the wall. I take it back. I think he did do a massive amount of damage onto Alu, but doesn't get away with the kill directly. Fast, no less, that he was able to react in time. Nico in the corner. Kenny certainly knows he's there.
Yeah. Well, for now, not clear who's going to be walking away with this round. It looks like the CT's an inkling is going to be towards B, but it's not. Rain, he comes in with another kill towards Shoxy here, and the bomb's making its way in slowly but surely. It's at the Kenny S, though. He's at the quad, and this should be an easy kill from Apex. A bit of a whiff from him, though. Nico takes him down 4-on-2. Kenny S still towards quad. He needs to land this shot with the flashbang. So good from FaZe here. Looking very convincing this round. At the body, who has to save. Another rough round for G2. The scoreline here in the second half.
FaZe is stepping it up.
Yeah, it's 4-2 after this round. Flashbangs were great. Teamwork was good. And a few whiffs from the GT side allowed them to keep 4 players alive as well. Body, 9-15.
Wow. North is crushing Virtus Pro now.
No way.
15.
That means they're definitely relegation playoffs again.
They have to
They did it
play.
last season, and they
2
lost.
seasons ago.
Was that 2 seasons ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, because then they came back this season. And yeah, they played against the relegation. They lost to what, Godsent or something like
And
that?
then they got a fan vote.
They got the fan vote in.
Yeah, Godsent had... No, they beat Godsent in a match that they were put into because of the fan vote, if I'm not mistaken. Godsent,
That's
that
why we
was
had the
when...
fan vote, then they had to play
Yeah.
against Godsent.
Yeah, and Godsent, that was the night that they pulled the fast one, and all of a sudden, like, half of Fnatic suddenly was on their roster.
Yeah.
That was the night of the roster change.
No, that can't be right, because then we wouldn't have had...
Godsent wasn't in Pro League.
Oh, right, then...
Fnatic was, with Lekro and Twist.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, don't worry. That's what it was. And then Virtus Pro played, and Godsent's never been in Pro League as a result. That said, yeah, it's looking done. 15-7 for North over Virtus Pro. Fnatic, speaking of, 14 rounds for them. Mouse only on 6, but obviously Mouse is in the green already. Na'Vi, 10-9. Heroics clawing that back. That was 10-5 at half for Na'Vi. So they aren't out of the woods yet either, which means if FaZe do win this and Na'Vi don't win theirs, could be in a very good spot, if I'm not mistaken. Nip over Hellraiser, still 11-4 at half. How do you do, Hank? How do you feel?
Exhausted, but, you know, it's fine. After this, we get a nice long break, don't we?
Yeah, we're on a plane tomorrow, Henry, in case you forgot.
I'm trying
I'll
to put
see
that
you at
back
the
on my
train
mind.
station at 11:30 minimum.
Yeah. Oh, God, it never ends.
Doesn't ever end. We have a week, though. A week and I'm home.
Keep saying it. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Yeah, until your dad sells the house. It's fine. Good for him. Kerrigan takes down Shox. Say it like a bitter, don't I?
Yeah.
Body's got a crossfire set with Apex, who manages to get one on the deagle. Body does well to find Rain. The Body always needs to find water, Henry. It's good for it. Body's doing an exceptional job inside of the site as he's up to his 3rd kill. And MBK is able to flank out timely fashion as well.
That was almost full eco for G2 there. FaZe trying to do a set piece at the start of the round. Straight towards B, getting back and forth frags, and then it's G2, especially Body, stepping up and actually taking it away from them.
Another interesting noted scoreline, although not in the Pro League. Renegades just beat SK.
They actually beat them?
Yeah, 16-14.
Good Lord. What is the world coming to?
Remember, they 16-0 them.
It makes me feel better about losing to 3 of those guys now in the show match, you know.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, good point.
So that softens the blow.
Softened.
If Fallen can lose to them,
You know,
I'm
the
happy
only
with
thing
it as
that
well.
softened the blow, I think, was all the whipped cream before you hit the floor.
People will message me saying, "Did you break your nose?" I was like, "No, it's cream pie. It's quite soft. Don't worry about it. It's all good."
That would have been disgusting if you just had blood
Bloods
streaming
and
down on
chocolate.
top of the cream pie. It would have been like cherry.
Yeah.
Little raspberry
To be
puree
fair,
on there.
The pictures, it did look like a murder scene. Like when I was on the floor and it's all like the correct like colors would change. It looks a little bit bizarre.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get into this round. Number 8 and Apex looking to find a
that's
frag.
good. That's good from Alu.
Yeah, he's good with this rifle in the middle, isn't he? Multiple
Quite.
frags.
Quite good. Gets on the half garage and gets the easy shot in. Decent play from Alu to get Shox as well. So the rifle's got very well. Body trying to fight inside of the flames. Should have done well to just get away, but it's going to cost him, and now this means we go from full eco to 11-11 to a win against it, which means potential reset, Hank? I'm not sure, I can't quite see the money.
No, we've got 5K on Body and Kenny S as well. He's got 3,000, as you can see right now. So they'll get forced into the next round. They love force buying. Body could drop over an AWP, and I don't think that he could probably drop 2 UMPs, and then Kenny S buys them as well. They get pistols. They love that. If he could save this AWP, that would be great. What is that shot through the smoke? Takes down Nico. Will not be able to save the weapon, unfortunately for him. So, do they buy into this round? 3 players on just about sub $2,000. Body was 7K. Kenneth was just beneath 5 as well. And it looks like they're just going for a partial buy here. Deagles and body armor. Okay then.
Well, MBK is going to go with Kenny. And a wall. That's from Alu. Shox is on 2 HP. I was going to say they're doing a mini stack toward A. They'll fortify that by bringing Shox over to truck. He doesn't want to go mid anymore. Enough of that. I'll have none of that, thank you. So they're going to boost up. I think Jason's trying to make fun of me. Or was that Chad?
I have no idea. I had a voice.
I don't really listen to Chad anymore. Look at the amount of Molotovs. Remarkable. Remarkable. Kerrigan's going to walk into them still line and just spray down everybody. 4 kills for Kerrigan as he'll place the bomb. Tight default. It's body left for Kerrigan to go find. Do they allow Ace Ventura to be the pet detective? Or does body get away with the kill? Kerrigan's there waiting for it. He wants it, and Nico's going to steal it from him.
Kerrigan, lovely spread in there. Can we have a replay of that, please? I'm sure we can. Look at that. I ask and I receive. 2 kills, and then actually gets a quad spray down the end as well. That's not too bad at all. 13-11 now. Is it going to happen? Can FaZe do this? They pick up this second map. They've got a very strong chance of making it to players. I think everyone will want to see them there, man. Like, such a prominent team right now in CSGO, making multiple finals, winning a few of them as well. I think everyone wants to see them make it. And G2 already have, so G2, please don't steal us away from us. We need it. He hits him.
Did dead on. It is an easy lineup if you get the timing, because they have to be hugging the wall of the hut.
Yeah. Especially if you flash them as well, it's just going to be like running down their blind lane.
Yep. It's quite good. Quite good, as Alu will look toward mid still. 3 rounds to go. It is done. NIP over Hellraisers. And North have beaten VP.
So,
what a shocking season they've had.
It's online CS is not their forte, it seems. Don't know why. Like, it's not the same as LAN, sure, but there shouldn't be that much drop off.
No, I agree.
That's nuts.
I completely agree.
I played a lot of online CS in my time, and it wasn't like, oh, we're only good on LAN. You should be good online and then bad on LAN. that's the normal.
Yeah, typically. Look at this.
Effect.
Look at this. Oh, I thought he was going to go for the knife.
Oh, I love that.
He's just going to follow him. Take me to your leader. You have the bomb, actually. Your leader will come to me. And he makes it work, takes down Kerrigan. How's that accent, Chad? As Rain will take Apex. Can't hear you, Chad. Don't answer, wasn't it? It was rhetorical. As MBK backs off, it's Nico to find him. So FaZe do still win the round despite the cleverness, or at least the attempted cleverness.
Yeah, it was a bit of a
MBK.
grasp, but it's like, okay, this is my only chance. If I can find multiple kills here, maybe I have a chance to win the round. He gets the bomb down, but swiftly recovered by FaZe. And what's the play here? No pause coming in, interestingly enough, from G2, and it looks like they will not be forcing into this run. I say that with kind of bated breath. We'll see what happens. MBK with Deagle body armor, so almost allowing FaZe to find match point here. I say that, though, because they haven't really bought anything but the upgraded pistols, but there's always a chance.
There's always a chance as Shox starts to work in with his Deagle.
There it is.
Gets Nico down. It's apparently. I thought he was going to get another one. Alu, though, gets the shot back in return, and Body will hug the corner, hoping they don't check it, especially with the smoke down in front of it. Meanwhile, though, it's MBK in mid. Wants to get Kerrigan.
It is.
Oh,
MBK.
Gets it. He goes immediately and gets the gun as well.
Now they're getting a bit rattled, FaZe. Apprehensive as to where they want to go. Walking into these Deagle headshots. Lost the man advantage as well. And MPK's recovered a rifle. I dare say G2 win this round from what I can see at the moment. Double stack towards the B site. That's where Kerrigan and Co want to finish off. But Actually are going to push in. Does his work against him. Ali ready for it, misses the shot, and sends him packing.
Kenny, headshot, body, bait in, small pit. Alu, go. Body, go. Gets around the corner, takes down the AWP player immediately. Making things expensive, is he not? Kiyoshima will get body back. He's the only one that remains. This could be a G2 win with not much to begin the round with.
All comes down to that first shot from Shoxy, and pouncing in towards B, it's MBK. Peach with the kills on point. Let's have a look at the scoreboards as well while we're here. It's going to be 25 kills for Rain. That's better. He was at the bottom of the charts on Inferno. Just been even with Aloe, who's been very good. Haven't really seen him on the AWP yet. He picks it up this round at least. It's 14-12 G2. Somehow find one after looking like they're completely out of it. Just Deagles, no armor, no nades, managing to pick it up. Now they go for double up setup as well. Good incendiary, but Aloe wants to go through it. Hits the shot, but can't find the kill. Body takes him down in return. That's going to be disappointing. And let's get a rush towards A, it seems, as well. Kenny is in a nice position to find one kill and fall back. Nails it. Still alive for now.
Kenny gets in behind the forklift as the result of the smoke down. Sees a gun barrel. Sees a body. Sees a Nico, actually, if I want to be specific. Takes him down. It's going to be Apex. Walks out. Bombs dropped in the mouth of the tunnel. Keo wants to go for it. I think he spotted boost. Yes. Oh, did he ever? Remarkable shot. As it's now one round between them. G2 convincing that time despite Keo's nice, nifty crosshair placement, if you want to call that.
So, Matt, it went from a position where FaZe were one round away from match point, looked like they'd finally done it, found the form. They lose to Deagles, and then it all starts to fall apart. They give that double AWP set up to G2, and I dare say now G2 win this 16-14. The money is in the proverbial bin. They have Deagles, armor, it's a bit of utility in the form of some smokes here. If it goes to 14-14, that might just do it. G2 with his double or buy for the first time as well. It's that combo we saw on Inferno, Shoxy and Kenny S. A nice adjustment. I think Cash is one of the most viable maps for this setup, along with Train and Inferno as well. But we'll see what happens as the end pause comes in. It will just be... This is the sort of round where you go for the full execution, right? You've got Tech 9s, you've got some armor, you've purchased 4 smokes, you've got a Molotov as well. If you go towards A, which is very likely, smoking everywhere. You're doing one towards Highway, one on the left-hand side of the bomb site to actually take vision away from CT spawn and Highway, and then you're Molotoving towards MBK. They're doing, wow, it looks like a mid setup for now. Crisscross smokes coming in. Last speed play, I like this a lot from G2. Just shutting down anything before it has a chance to begin. So the smoke's coming towards mid, but that B split is completely been shut down. Should missing a shot.
Big miss. Kenny's not going to do the same, though. I'll take Rain. Is FaZe really going to get to 14 and then fall short?
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
We want them at the finals so bad as well.
Yeah, I'd love to have them there, wouldn't it? It would be one of the sickest finals. I mean, the whole summer is looking like it's going to be unreal. As the playoff race is getting to its finer moments, this game going the distance means that likely all the others are as well. It seems Fnatic has beaten Mouse Sports 16-6. Navi's about to beat Heroic. They have pulled that one back, but but Virtus Pro is done and lost. Ooh, another one.
Done and dusted?
I was almost going to say it. Interesting one. Envy's beating Astralis now up 11-10 after
They won the
being
first
down.
round.
I know.
Yeah.
But they're up 11-10 on the second one.
Oh, right, I see what you mean.
Astralis was leading that at halftime.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
It was 9-6.
Well, there you go. Could be a 2-0 for MBS. Who would have saw that coming?
Nobody in the world.
Double up setup once again for the CT side. If they get match point, that's going to be it. And a change of pace as well. Flashbang's good. Can they get this pick? And Alu, he's waiting for it. He strikes first. And we've still got a few rounds to go, it seems, as Apex, he's fighting back. It's another dink as well. How's Alu giving that kill away? You've got the man advantage. That's absolutely nuts. This kill, though, it means everything as Nico strikes from the squeaky door. 2-on-2 now. It's the Shoxy and MBK to try and thwart the attempts towards the A-bomb site as the bomb makes its way into plant position.
May get there and get down. Shox gets toward the forklift. His teammate Molotovs him, so he can't go any further. He was in a perfect position to wrap around and cover off him, and now his teammate can't help him, or can he? NBK does it all himself. And Shox, although restricted due to a poor Molotov, if you ask me, they get away with the round. That's going to be 15. They get map point first.
Yeah, that almost cost them the round as well. The fact is, like you said, it's the CT Molotov, his teammate, he runs into it, gives the tick away in terms of he makes a sound cue. That's his position, okay? Terrorist knows I'm here now and I'm low HP. Thanks a lot for that. But MBK, he recovers it, managed to find 2 big kills. And I have to say, after they find those first 2 orb shots, why is Alu still there? Like, you've got the advantage at that point. If you go down, that's going to throw everything away. You know Apex is waiting on the other side, and he's got the pre-fire on you. And this will be so disappointing. Not like this phase. Let's get overtime. Come on. Set piece, it looks like. Everyone towards A. Nothing in B whatsoever. Oh, there is one player. I beg your pardon. It's Kishima. That storyline's completely shut down.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Just on Bill his big speech. It's not going to be that at all.
The double op with NBK inside of mid is going to be a decent set for G2. One of those ops naturally over toward B. I'd say it's alone, but it's not quite with the vent position. But Kenny's going to be the one that's in the hot seat. Flash. Oh, he's definitely spotted. Does he try and move, relocate, or go again? Makes it work as he takes down Rain. 15 HP is all he has left. And yes, he has.
How? Where was he? Was he middle, boost position, and jumped off? Oh, it's over.
Can you take damage from that? That's going to be the game. FaZe is done. 0-2. G2 are going to put themselves in qualification position. That's done. But FaZe are... Oh, well, I got to see it before I can call it. I don't know if they make it through now, and that's going to be a huge problem. Incredible stuff. Where does Alu take damage from?
I think he jumped to the boost position. Maybe he just got spotted. Like, he has been lurking.
You have to jump from the high side of the hut.
Yeah.
Well, that said...
Let's find out how it's all going down.
Yeah.
With the king of esports himself, Jason Moses O'Toole. How are you doing?
I am so depressed right now. We live in a world where FaZe and Astralis could both miss the ESL Pro League playoffs in Dallas. That would be absolutely insane. And actually,
you can't even find words for it.
Yeah, you can't really. We're not going to stay long. We're going to go right over to the cast because if Na'Vi wins, then FaZe is out. And it's 15-10 last I saw. So take it away to the other stream, please.
Smoke signals if that may be required. Na'Vi are definitely leaning on towards the A side of the map here. Slow play. The Guardian wants to make a bit of a later peek here, make his way through. No one's standing close for Heroic here. You can see that Yugi is going to be stacked up here with Snappy on that A site. And Modi, as he was in that previous round when he called out Guardian, will be waiting in Connector. Na'Vi were famous for this 40-second trigger point. That was when they always used to make things happen, and that's where Flipside copied that off them to quite a great degree. And you always kind of knew Na'Vi would go for it around then.
Yugi waiting for the play up on longer positioning, and they actually have 3 players here, Heroic, so this is actually looking quite likely in this round. They have the early player across. Unless they get sold something by Seized here, they're in a very good spot. 36 seconds, Seized.
He's not going to check that.
Oh, God, he goes down. Now, it's all about does Heroic hold their nerve. They're still seeing that utility coming in, so they're holding on here. The player's now rotating over as well. Heroic are going to have bodies on this site, and Na'Vi just don't have the time, really. Guardian's going to find Snappy, but they're down to 20 seconds.
That's the thing. Your margin of error is very slim when you leave yourself so little time in the round. Now, if they lose one more player on the push, things are going to be almost impossible. Yuki, is he going to get traded? No, stays alive just. Edward is picked off as he heads towards Wood, and that's wishful thinking for Yugi, trying to get the no-scope towards Guardian, who makes him pay for it. And now a 2v2. Flamey even the odds. It's simple to come back in as well. And this might just be it. Na'Vi looking to close things out. Valda, time of the essence, and he stays alive. Na'Vi just wasted too much.
So this is what it comes down to. It'd be a 4-way time theory, right? So from 5th to 8th, there'll be the 14 wins. That's what happens. Astralis would lose their game. They stay on 14. FaZe stay where they are on 14. Na'Vi win theirs, they go up to 14. And if Envy, of course, win theirs, they go on 14 as well. So Astralis can still secure themselves in this one. They can get themselves in a good spot if they win their game.
A lot of caveats there, Lauren. It's enough to make anyone uncomfortable.
Makes my brain hurt. I don't count good. This could all be wrong, so just don't believe a word. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We think there's a nugget of truth there.
It will become a 4-way tie, basically. For that,
That's
for like between 5th and 6th, I guess, and it would have to be worked out.
What a wacky season. Online CS for the win. Yugi now doesn't see any of this, and it was flashes thrown by Heroic now. So Na'Vi hasn't really given their position away in total, but that's the bomb loose. So not only is Flamey down, but they know, Heroic know that that's where they're going to be pushing here. Siege tries to get up and behind, he's flashed out. It's a desperate spray down and he catches Modi, but Na'Vi now clutching at straws, and they've let Heroic back into this game.
And how gutted are Na'Vi? Remember, the last let's say 2 games they played. LDLC and Mouseboards, that was always their kind of fullback plan. Oh, it's only LDLC. All right, Mouseboards we should do all right against. There's a chance there. No, they lost both of those games. They lost to LDLC 8-16, 10-16. Then Mouseboards 0-16. They didn't pick up a single round.
They've lost their last 5 maps in the row.
Yeah, exactly. Now, here we go. We're jumping into the next one here, which will be, of course, the other side of things. Envy up on Astralis. This bodes well for that 4-way tie.
Envy making their way into the playoffs as well is insane.
After their awful start to the season, both of the French teams had atrocious beginnings.
And they had very low expectations applied to them as well. It was sort of the team that Happy just had to cobble together after G2 decided to get the best in France and make something happen with it now. And you can see Astralis are forced to be humbled yet again as Tech9's Desert Eagles in the mix, smoking a flash for Zipnix, and that's about all. And then Envy are going to get themselves within spitting distance of taking this one out. Unbelievable.
Oh, Scream. A little slow there, gets outdone. XMS going to pick up the mantle. Also, doesn't trade out well. This is very sloppy considering the match point that they're on, or I guess the value of this match to them.
Oh, that's bizarre. This is such a strange round, and it's a huge way to get Astralis's morale back up. Sixer sees it. I thought he saw Kirby straight away. Maybe he was just waiting on the trigger there. Glaive is not able to plant the bomb. He has to back away for his own safety. And this is buying Sixers some time for Happy to get here. It also is buying some time for that smoke to dissipate. But I love this. Look at this response from Astralis. Fundamentally, they're so good, but even tactically, they're brilliant. They pull out of the B side as soon as that delay occurs, and they're straight towards A. And there's no one here for Envy to stop them.
No, bomb goes in. And retake him with the AWP. It's Sixer. They've got a good idea where he might be as well. So well played. Na'Vi against Heroic has said 15-13. Still score on the door. Now, Sixer trying to stay alive. And I think we've got a pause coming in between Na'Vi and Heroic to discuss things. You can't blame them at this sort of magnitude.
Though they spent a lot of money. I think they're on their last sort of buy around before they... I mean, it's just an awkward position for them to be in general. We'll try and skip over to them as soon as we can, but for now, Six is going to try and get himself out of this situation. Nice little delivery there with a P250, but again, he's going to have to use every trick in the book to outlast this situation. Turns anti-flash for his own bit of utility used, and then he stands in the smoke. That's cute. He might save himself the AWP here as well. He gets out alive. He's running around the corner. Nicely done.
All right, I know this is a hot match, but we need to find out how that Na'Vi Hero game goes. So right back in we go. Score on the door, 15-13. Heroic still trailed, but the pause came through. And Na'Vi are back in with this very shambolic, very broken buy. Heroic, considering they were trading quite some way. So even to put it back to this point is very impressive.
This is overtime in this round. This is pretty much what decides it here, with Na'Vi having to dig deep into their pockets for one last go. And Heroic have just started to burgeon in their confidence and start to feel a little bit more comfortable, leaning in towards having Modi in that pivot point to rotate towards A early if he needs to, or just stay in connector and get the sprays down. And already he's taking position. Was set up for an early B play. Now he relaxes to connector.
And remember, if you're confused about the standings, Sponge and Moses will break down everything that happened after we've got the results in. So that's what we're all waiting on here, is these last 2 games to close out that directly affect each other. Nico, though, up on towards platform, and Na'Vi playing this very slow pace, and clearly it's not worked thus far.
You saw how it hurt them in that other round. They were in a 2v1. It was just Valda left on his own, and Na'Vi lost that round because they lost so much time. They couldn't sell the fake at B, and they left like 35 seconds of the round before they tried to hit A. Not good. Snappy takes a lot of early damage.
Not good at all.
32 seconds left in the round. What is going on?
They give themselves no room to operate. I don't know what they're up to. I think they're trying to sell a very late A, but they're not causing rotate.
This now has to be centimeter perfect, Lauren.
I don't think they can do it. They're going for the A hit. Now they need to run through here without stopping almost, and Yugi's having none of it. Molly's going to force him out a little bit. Smokes, it's still there, and Snappy's taking the bomb. It's done. That's going to be 14-15. There's nothing more to say. You can't do it at this point unless C's somehow becomes an aimbot and just kind of like, you know, spin bots everyone. And there it is. What is going on with Na'Vi? They're faltering when it matters most. Unbelievable. And in the Envy Astralis game as we speak, it's 13-12. So Astralis are pulling this one back into the court of Envy. And Na'Vi, you know, this is a disappointing moment for them. Jump over quickly. We'll be jumping in between these two as this happens. We don't want to miss a piece of the action. The results directly affect each other. From what I've seen and what I've heard now, it's 15-15 between Na'Vi and Heroic. From what I've just got the information. I'll confirm in a moment, but that's gonna be OT. So we got to focus on this game for now until that's confirmed, because from what I understand, that's what the result is.
I'm triggered by Na'Vi, but let's move on, Lauren, to another very close affair here. Sixer flashed in mid, so no opportunity for him to get any early information or even some damage down. But Envious with a bit of a default setup here. A very minimal approach towards Banana, though. Playing those 3 players in mid and inching their way forward. This might actually have a little bit of pace to it. We'll see what they go for here. Should be smokes to either side. Dupree setting one up now as well. Here's the push. Sixer stops them in their tracks, so that's going to hurt. It's a stopping power for a Mac truck. Happy flashed out very heavily, but he's saved. Dupree keeps him alive, or RPK keeps him alive, should I say, by catching Dupree as he tries to make his way forward. This is a lovely hole from Envious. Look at what their buyers in this round. Look at what they're working with. They make
Disaster.
4 pistols work.
Absolute disaster there for Astralis. What happened? And then money. Shambolic as well, completely broken down. You got 6k on one, but yeah, look how back and forth this was. Great start for Astralis, but Envy have clearly got themselves back into this one a little bit, and individually, of course, who else to look towards?
Oh man, that's got to hurt. And Sixer open it up, there's no doubt about it, but again, just the crossfires were very, very good on the push towards the pit. Dupree had such a golden opportunity to deal with Happy, the one player that actually had an AK at that point. He was saved by RPK.
Mitch, it's round by round. We're switching in between, and it is OT. So still, this is insane between these guys. So the pause came in between the Astralis game as well.
That's why we're switching. It is a pause in the other game.
And just to confirm that I wasn't just, seeing into the future. I've got, I know some things, Mitch. I know some things, but...
Okay, so I'm triggered about Na'Vi because when you see that kind of stuff happen late round, it's okay to leave things till late. We actually see that work a lot.
Yeah.
But then they're switching back and forth, and I definitely think there's communication problems for them right now. Something's not clicking. This is like, it's really obvious when you see it. When a failure occurs on that kind of level, you can leave a round late. You can do a VP and keep your opponents guessing. But if you put yourself in a position by saying, okay, guys, let's go to this site. Oh, also, if any one of us dies to an AWP shot, we've lost the round. That's the kind of, that's the stakes right now. That's the risk we put ourselves in. Instead of saying, okay, guys, we're going to now trade onto this site, play contact CS, take casualties, but have enough time to recover and gain position.
So OT's still kind of being worked out, but the unpause has come in from this one, 14-13. And again, to highlight what happens
Big force.
Here. Yeah, if Envy win, they go up to the 14 wins. Now they're in that tie as well. If Na'Vi do it, in the tie as well. So, it's all about those 14 wins. Astralis can get themselves clear. They can get away from this pack. That's what's on the line here for them. They get away from that horrific tie that could put them in, a bit of a dangerous position. Not sure how that would work out. Again, end of the stream for that one, for the full information. But Astralis here need this round. Envy, again, in with a chance of doing some damage. Fighting for their position, for their chance at being in that top 6.
And you can see here that Astralis to lose this round leaves them with very little except the extra from loss bonus in the next round. So they're putting a lot on this round. This is a huge emphasized opportunity for them to break back in, and they've given Envy the opportunity to get themselves some guns. That's the first trade, but Scream's there. No one better to lean your hopes on than this man over at the site. He backs away. He's more than happy with the 1 kill for the moment. He's going to wait for reinforcements. The coffins are quite permeable to bullets. Zipnix takes a fair bit of damage, but the bomb's down, and now Envious. Ball's in their court.
Chad has some good stats about holding the B site on Inferno. Once you got the bomb down, Glaive going to help him out on that one. Switches up to the M4. He does get it eventually. And he's way too unhappy. He's got a good idea. He's there, but just not as quick on the trigger. And now it's just Dupree. A 1v3 to get back tied all even. Bombs planted. He's positions noted. The flash comes in. Sixer comes out. And the fuse comes through. Envy make it to 15. This gets scary.
This is it. I mean, look at Astralis' money in this next round. We'll actually see what they have to work with. That's porridge. That's not even the good porridge. That's like the stuff that you have a grandmother that likes to hoard food over long periods of time, and she just pulls it out. She's forgotten, of course, that it's like 12 years old, and you got to eat it.
And if you're wondering why we're not seeing the Na'Vi game right now, it's because it's still going into OT, 15-15. So do stay tuned. That'll be coming up once we know probably the result of how this one closes out. It's 15-13 right now. If Envy win this, that 4-way tie again looks more and more likely.
This is all Astralis have to work with here. They took a risk, there's no doubt about it, and they've thrown themselves now to, I guess, the whims of fate. Given that there will be a big tie in the middle of the pack that will decide who makes it in. And I don't even know if there needs to be extra games played. I couldn't tell you. We'll have to find out when we get there. But now, let's see how this round pans out. Relatively default approach thus far. Astralis have this utility to use, at least. They've compromised on weapon strength for that cause. Big away. Here comes a flash. He turns it a little bit late. He does suffer a little bit of flash there, but doesn't see any players. Zipnik's maybe baited that he was walking out of Boiler.
Yeah, and considering where the rotate player is for Envy, this could be dangerous, but RBK is doing a good job. He does open himself up to that chance, which may be overextending to make up for the fact they didn't have that player in CT Arch initially. Now they're there, but instantly traded. Scream does find Glaive, but dupreeh again keeps this game alive for Astralis. Envy, though, know what's on the line here. Happy's still tucked in, but oh, this is nice.
Good read.
But they're faking it. This is all but a ruse.
Oh, is Sixer going back? Say it ain't so. And the exact moment that Astralis decided to go back to A, Sixer pulls himself out of that exact site. Okay, now he knows, but the smoke's there. It doesn't even matter.
It's
He
Happy.
can't get involved.
He's on the bike of doom. All right, this thing works. Don't worry about it. I actually believe he's got this round. Yeah, of course he gets the kill, and Sixer goes through the smoke. dupreeh, it's all on you. Can you save Astralis in this, or will it be Envy tying things up, binding these four teams in possibly a four-way tie? dupreeh now bombed down. UMP to hand. Flash goes in. He knows he's going to be pressured severely. He flashes them, but he flashes himself. He spots one. He goes for the other, but he can't make it happen. XMS is there, and it's Envy making it to 16.
And that's going to be it, of course. Game one for Envious, blowing over the top of Astralis there in this last match of the season for them, and they have made a comeback that I haven't seen in quite some time, but we'll get to that after. It's now into overtime between Heroic and Na'Vi.
This is insanity, isn't it? Yugi already going to find the first. Sappy puts his foot down, and Na'Vi seeming to kind of kick right back off to where they were struggling before.
Yeah, they get not very much done at all. Of course, they did just play on the T side here, and we could see a lot of their problems did originate from that. They were 15-10 ahead, mind you, Na'Vi were. 5 rounds in a row for Heroic, and Na'Vi kept forcing against the grain, trying to make something happen. Well, it didn't. And Flamey tries to jump over his namesake. Even he can be affected by it. That was the myth, of course. It's sprayed out for him. He's going to get some progress towards the side. But it was so low, and it was a matter of time. And Modi, ever the consistent one there over the top, takes him down. Heroic, first round of this overtime here. And Na'Vi, don't forget, this is MR3. You spend big on the first 2 rounds and you lose them both, you have stuff all for the third round and the last round of that first half.
Here we go, Na'Vi, no AWPs available. Nothing on them right now. 4 rifles. Now, okay, Guardian can still play with a rifle. There's no disputing that. Very
One of the
diligent.
few that's really good in that regard.
Of course, it's a little less, but not by much. It's not like he instantly takes this big dive, so eyes towards what he can achieve here in this one. Again, Na'Vi, you know, the T side was their issue. If you watch some of the regular time, I know it was very back and forth, but this was where they struggled. And Heroic pulled off this crazy comeback again. Nico, maybe not expecting this pressure, but great teamwork from Value there. Kind of sacrificed himself, but he do keep control of that B site.
Yeah, now we've actually got Snappy wrapping around right behind Na'Vi. This could be really nasty. It's not even from the expected angle here. Guardian's trained on that position, but Snappy's disciplined. He goes for it. The timing works in his favor. He'll make a bit of sound here, but Simple is trying to make things happen on his own. Unfortunately, Modi is going to cut him down. Smoke down. Flash was thrown there. And the backstab from Snappy is going to be real in just a moment here. That was desperate spray. He wasn't even flashed out, and this still makes it pretty competitive. But Yugi and Snappy are high on health, and Flamey's got a lot to do.
You can imagine all the FaZe players out there, and everyone else banking on this. The bomb, though. Such a tricky spot. Flamey loses the molly and hopes, prays. He does force Snappy away from it, but not for long. He can always play back into this. Flash goes in, evens it out. Doesn't play into it, but 25 seconds now.
That's it. Yugi takes the head off of Flamey, and Heroic managed to weather the first 2 rounds of this overtime comfortably. And now, fortunately for Na'Vi, they didn't buy an AWP in that last round, but because Guardian did in that first round, he's under 3K. Now it's about pooling your resources and getting the most you can out of this last round of the first half of overtime.
Yeah, and I can imagine the ESL admins out there, League Ops, the guys who are working out all the scores are like, you know, I'd see them with like, oh, you know, the abacus is like, you know, sliding things across, like, please, in this way.
It's like the Zach Galifianakis meme with all like the maths formulas coming across them. That's what Carsten looks like right now.
Yeah.
Well, Na'Vi don't want to become a meme themselves. This fall from grace has definitely been something to remember, but it's not looking good in this third round. This is going to mean they need a perfect half, a 3-0 to keep themselves alive and make another overtime happen. They're looking very limp, lifeless, flaccid, unresponsive. Not much more to be done here. 3 players still to work with, but they're getting cut down. This is a confident, imperious-looking Heroic. And that's it. First half of that halftime is over, and Heroic stand 1 round away from victory here, making things very interesting for Na'Vi.
Okay. Now, Na'Vi needs to be pretty flawless. They haven't been great so far, Mitch. It's been a bit bad, but I guess at least their CT side was better than their T side, so I guess there's that, right?
Again, I mean, this is one of those maps where the CT side is actually one of the hardest to ease into and to feel comfortable on because you can't get information. Or at least you can't do it without offering something up and taking a risk of your own. That's the risk involved. We're going to jump in, though, here as well. And in terms of loadout, it's a double AWP coming up for Na'Vi, taking no risks and definitely making a statement early here. Big money put on the table. Of course, the odds are high, and Na'Vi have nothing to lose from this point out. They've got to go.
I'm pretty sure as well, if this pans out, well, I've got a feeling Astralis could be in trouble here as well. Genuinely. Like, head-to-head, I have a feeling they might be in trouble. I don't know. I'm going to leave that over to Chad and the boys to work out, because this is hurting my brain, trying to make it happen. But double AWP, Simple and Guardian. Go big, or you might be going home. Flash goes in, forces Guardian back a little bit. Back in again, gets the angle. And I like this more controlling CT approach now to Cobble. You know, the deeper smokes, deeper mollies. Keeping the T side away from any freebies here.
Yeah, and pressure them as well by making that round time take a little bit longer. And against a team like Na'Vi as well, if they don't draw out your utility, you're actually, you know, at your leisure to use that later in the round and put even more pressure on a team that wants to play slow. That's what Na'Vi have fed themselves into in those last few rounds. But here we go. Flash over the site. Guardian blind. Backs away and delivers one of his own. Simple needs to be careful here. But Modi is not chomping at the bit, really. He's just playing patient. Good from Guardian. He took a risk to be up there, but he picks off Valda and he sees a bunch of other heroic players set up on B platform. Pause for thought for the Danes.
Right now, your top 6 does not include Envy, Na'Vi, or Heroic, as it stands currently. Still depends on this outcome of the game, how things change. And especially this round, Seized teetering on the edge of being able to do some impact here.
Yeah, Heroic can't make that top 6 regardless. They can only get 13 wins. Na'Vi can be in that tie situation with a win, and if not, then it's going to be solidified. But here's the push. C's going to have to receive here, but Yugi takes him down. 2 players left for Heroic here to try and close out the match, and Guardian needs to receive from Statue. Yugi gets yet another. Edward falls down. Perhaps a glimmer of hope starting to bloom here for Heroic, but time is of the essence. 7 seconds left in the round, and losing Snappy is going to make things a heck of a difficult one.
Yeah, not going to happen. Here we go. They keep the AWP up, which is important. It means they, you know, they're not completely skint. They're going to have to spread around the wealth, I guess. You know, Guardian take over the AWP. All right, not going to do the double again. But it's not the worst in the world. Or can they afford the double? I don't know if they can. Look at this one, Guardian. No, yeah, they can. They dropped it out. Okay, no worries. So it's still on the double AWP. Perfect for them. Seemed to work well, but a very late in the round hit from Heroic there. That looked kind of, you know, very much knife's edge sort of stuff. 10 seconds and they finally make it out. Yugi did make it interesting, but it kind of crumbled away from them. So here we go.
And you see Na'Vi read into a potential A play now as well for Heroic because they had to use a lot of utility, got quite frustrated. It was actually a slow round for Heroic on that T side, so they've got a lot of information as well about how Na'Vi was still playing it. And so Flamey would love to catch them out here, would love them to come over towards this site. Smoke's down. Unclear if he's heard too much there about the players from Heroic going down into danger. But this is it. Caesar's actually managed to catch out Valda, who was hoping to make something happen there through halls, and this applies pressure to the weak points of Heroic.
Modi looking in. Not going to be the one to find it, though. Still operating with 4. This could be double OT. How much pressure can one game have? As so far, Heroic are making almost no dents into this round, so their money's going to be pretty shoddy. Simple going to find Nico. There's Flamey to take up the challenge. Finally, Na'Vi come alive, and Simple again towards Modi.
And that's what they had to do, win those first 2 rounds and now make Heroic, well, kind of sweat here. You can see 1950 for Snappy on this T side, where they're going to be lacking utility for the most part. You can see Valda's forced to go to the UMP for that exact reason here. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered. And both these 2 teams lacking potency on that T side. Heroic, of course, still sit on match point, but now they've got to do it MacGyver style, Lauren. They've got to try and craft a solid round out of a very cobbled together buy, excuse the pun.
Yeah, well, we've got to see what they've got here. Might just switch up the pace, go a little faster, try and, you know, catch him off guard, do something, throw a bit of a curveball, and it's worked. Valda finds Flamey, but Edward's there. Mr. Consistent, Guardian as well. Yugi strikes back, though. It's still a 3v3. Nico, a little worse for wear, a little bit, you know,
sloppy.
Maybe, yeah, sloppy, I think is the best word I can put it. But Yugi and Snappy on.
1v1.
It's a 1v1 here. Na'Vi need this to stay in with a chance, and Yugi can destroy it all.
Simple versus Yugi. What an important moment for Simple, and he makes it happen. The spray's there. Yugi to fall, and it's going to be a second overtime here. Neither of these teams willing to budge an inch. And what better way to have it for the last game of the Pro League? With so much on the line for Na'Vi, there's potentially, theoretically, still a shot that they can make it to Dallas, and they need a land appearance. They need a successful one, especially given the recent events leaving quite the sour taste in them and their fans' mouths. Just
so you know, guys, any FaZe fans out there, you are wanting Na'Vi to lose this. I mean, FaZe take that final spot. So that's what's on the line. You know, everything changes on this one, from what I've heard, from what I can understand, and what I've gathered. This all gets a little bit exciting, and we've got double OT to secure it. Now, Na'Vi do start on the CT side, so again, this could be where they really get in the heads of Heroic. They get a double up out to play, a little costly, of course. I wonder if they go straight back to it. No, they don't, so a bit of a different approach here.
This is very curious, actually. I'm interested to see how they mix it up. It's also an insurance plan as well. It's like, okay, if things go bad, we actually still maybe have a little bit of more wealth to spread. They even dropped Orbs to make sure they had 2 rounds with double AWP, but it worked. They were winning. That's fine. Now it's going to be Heroic, though, all set up towards that B platform. There's no one actually set up on the high side. Edward is the closest player to this push, and there's not much they can do to stop it. No one can wait in the corner. This could be nasty. Heroic have the opportunity to work their way through here. Valda with one. Guardian cut down on the statue, and this is a beautiful opening now. Heroic have found their T-side chops, and not a moment too soon.
They found the pace. They found what seemingly worked. They did find in regular time. Snappy to put down Simple. And it's Flamey trying to make a play, but he's already outnumbered, outgunned, and out of position. It's time to save and keep hold of that M4.
So the biggest part of Heroic's attempts to try and make this B-side hit work, and what's unraveled them, has actually been the player up on B platform for Na'Vi. Whoever it's been, Guardian, it was in that first round. And Na'Vi being in a position to use a lot of utility to stall any push on that side of the map. Whether it's an incorrect read, just Edward being slow, or even a bad spawn, there wasn't a Na'Vi player in position to get into that corner to hide. Heroic didn't give them that time either. I love a decisive push like that on an important round.
All right, Heroic, make it count.
And also Heroic might have been expecting to go back into a double AWP as well. So they're, again, still wanting to try and play a little bit more of a high-paced Counter-Strike game. And although Na'Vi weren't doing it, it still worked in Heroic's favor as they weren't in position to receive.
Absolutely. Wonder if they're going to come in with that blistering pace again. Feels like that was the closest they got out of, you know, obviously it's the one that they won, but in comparison to the other ones that were very clear cut towards Na'Vi during the last OT, that was very, very decisive in comparison. The answer is no. That pace absconding from this round. And Yugi waits.
By the way, both these two teams are going. This one, you know, overtime round on T-side might be enough for Heroic here. Yugi's forced to back up, and this will be another slow one. Heroic don't have an A-side presence. And it's going to take them a long time to get enough information with a player up there as well. So they're probably still committed to this one. Into drop. Flamey gets a very small amount of damage done. Nico finds him through to smoke, if I'm not mistaken. That's a huge opening for Heroic.
It's massive, and here we go. Edward now has to focus towards drop, and he's done well. Finding Valder is big, smokes it off now, can back away, find somewhere safe, find somewhere secure. While he comes in, Nico now threatened. Readjusts.
Had to make sound.
And now seized, puts himself just under the window, waiting ever so patiently. Nico jumps it, spots it. Now, how'd you get around it?
Nico not only sees his assailant, but also reveals himself. So still needs to be slowed up a little bit. 40 seconds left in the round. There needs to be another big move made by Heroic here, but it's actually Na'Vi that make the response. Nico falls to seize, and that was definitely a linchpin in their approach to this round. Now it's going to be on towards B platform and hope for the best, but Edward this time has had time to get in a position to receive. There's no chance Snappy was going to get out of that. He didn't even have time to check that spot. Good work with the time here for Wall. Surely not. Na'Vi looked like they were going to bring it back, but now shots in through the chicken coop here. Yugi needs to connect these. It's him versus two. The CZ comes in. Now it's going to be the 1v1. Sprayed through the chicken coop, doesn't quite connect. 6 bullets left, and Yugi knows he's in trouble. It's a fake plant. The spray down. 19 points of health, and Guardian brings it back. The USP comes in.
What a hero. How does he do that sort of thing? It's 1919. Hope is still alive, but money is scarce for Na'Vi. They can still get a buy, but it's not going to be perfect. And oh my word, Mitch, this could be a game to remember.
What an important time for it as well. These two teams are both reeling over disappointing performances at LAN over the weekend. They're not happy with how things have gone so far. Na'Vi, of course, and Heroic. I can think back to that misfits performance for Na'Vi and Heroic already getting out of the groups. And this is a series that everyone had slated for them to get through over at Tours. Maybe some revenge or a chance at least to give themselves some confidence back. AWP is still present for Na'Vi, but they've had to go for a mix of FAMAS and UMP in there. Limited utility, which means limited stall against a Heroic who are happy to wait them out more times than not.
Simple, gonna take the fight. In that smoke, taking his time, gets outdone by Nico, and what a moment to go through the smoke and try and make that fight. Flamey, come on, live up to your name. Nice.
That's not good at all.
That's a horrible way to possibly lose this round. Molly finds two, makes the most of a very bad situation for Na'Vi, and Edward's out of position trying to play back into it. What has happened here?
Is that Mini Rain pushing onto the A side? It may well be Molly just smashing him down. 3 for him. And that was a bit of a, well, it looked like a bit of a brain AFK moment for Flamey. A little bit awkward, perhaps, for him. What a result for Heroic on that T side to get themselves those important rounds here. 2 rounds, of course, now. And Na'Vi definitely feeling behind the 8 ball, no doubt about it. 2 more rounds on the CT side, and Heroic have got it wrapped up, and they're good to go.
What can you say about this one? You know what I mean? This is one of the most. I think so. We've had intense ends to the season before. It is normally close. We do normally get these tied moments, but it's not normally the teams that you kind of expect to be within that kind of higher echelon. You're looking at some of the best teams in the world. Astralis, FaZe, Na'Vi, and Envy now apparently have put themselves in a position of power. It's kind of scary to see because you don't often see these guys having to fight it out this late in the day. And Heroic, bless their hearts, they can't even get to the offline finals no matter what happens. But my God, are they giving a good game?
Yeah, they're not even at a risk of being relegated either.
No, they're in that safe middle ground. No matter what happens to them, they're fine. They can't make it to the playoffs, but they aren't relegated.
And they can prevent Na'Vi from making the finals with one fell swoop.
The world on fire here, and that's what I love. Bring me a bit of that. All right, we're about to get underway here. Now, Heroic CT side last time was very robust. Na'Vi looked quite flat on their T side during regular time and OT. Now, this time around, Heroic actually picked up a round on their T side, so things could be a little bit different here. Could be a little bit harder for Na'Vi. We'll see. We'll see how much this plays into it.
No double AWP for Heroic here. Quite often just Yugi that we see wielding that one. It's not really an approach they often like to take. Not on this map, at least. Looks like there was an early push forward by Heroic's A side couple. They didn't see too much. They've now backed up to more defensive positions on A. And the counter boost here, this could be pretty big, but Nico's already made Guardian. That's a bit of aggression here as well. Heroic actually channeling some of that bloodthirstiness, and that slowed Heroic Na'Vi down in a big way here. They're split 2 and 2 across the map here, looking for picks or some sort of entry. Not at their best. No, losing out on Guardian already a huge blow. Now, what did Na'Vi do? Again, it was the pace that they came in with on that first OT. They were down to 10, 20 seconds max hitting these sites, so it's kind of a little baffling. And Heroic know this. They know that they like that sort of pacing, and it seems to be coming back into the Na'Vi playbook, even though they switched up the pace as of late. They're going for those kind of quicker, more concise hits. But now, looking like a bit of an ace split's coming through with a commitment towards drop. Bomb still on long. Molly reads this well, but he still get the frags and did do damage on the second. Flamey will overwhelm him, but now Yugi's eyes have turned. Yeah, I mean, that's okay for Molly in that case there as well. Heroic still have that man advantage now. It's even been exacerbated with Yugi finding Flamey. Yugi wanted that shot here as well. There's actually no one playing up close on A. He was the closest player to miss that one, so Wood can now get into position and even make it harder for Yugi now. Force him to commit a little bit more if he wants to get involved. Valda going to come up through danger. And Edward may be a little bit vulnerable if he goes a little bit too far forward here. I believe it's Simple playing behind him back towards that hut. Fairly standard after plant. Valda peeks out to that one. He gets the kill. That's okay. It's 1-for-1 trade, and Yugi receives Edward. They knew he was going to be there. Heroic have gotten themselves 3 rounds out of this overtime so far. 1 more, and she's done. And it's in the books. All right, things get a little bit scary now. This is where it all goes topsy-turvy. Moses, Sponge, get ready to explain what is just going down here. This could be one for the books. 21-19. Heroic on the verge of doing the dirty to Na'Vi. With nothing to lose, nothing to gain, Heroic just want to set fire to the world. It's just that salty run back late season. Well, we'll see if it works out here. Heroic come away with the goodie bags, because that is it. It's a consolation for them. And of course, this performance has its own sense of significance. The counter boost, you throw it in now, that's dirty. No one on Na'Vi is ready for this. Now, if they move quick, Modi gives himself away, or at least I thought he might have there. Guardian finds Nico on the push here. So this is a fast play here coming in from Na'Vi. Let's see if it works out. Modi, it's not been good trading for the CTs so far, and you can see the Flame is already in position. He gets the kill. Light glimmers in the eyes of Na'Vi now, and they've got the bomb plant.
Oh, God, as if this is when they start actually, turning it on. Yugi's going to try and keep all that up. That's his #1 priority now. Snappy's going to just kind of come out with him, play bodyguard, and keep Na'Vi at arm's length. Now, good stuff from Na'Vi to be this concise with it, not even keep their money into question. That's fine. All good, all well. This is perfect. They needed this too, just from Na'Vi's mentality.
Let me just paint this picture for you. The first overtime, neither team managed to win a T-side round. This second overtime, if Na'Vi manages to keep this game alive, these teams will have won the majority of their rounds on the T-side round, on the T-side. So you can just see now how these small adjustments are actually occurring in overtime. Something that Chad really likes to talk about, actually, and hopefully he gets to touch on it on the desk, because they're the things that make or break teams. And Na'Vi stays alive. Now, there's a lot on this round, Lauren. If Na'Vi win it, we got another overtime. We love those, Lauren. We often get those games, and Heroic can break this here.
I didn't want to go home, Mitch. I wanted to cast this game. I want to see how the Pro League ends up. This is what it's about. Here we go. 21-20. Heroic on the verge of closing this game out with a victory under their belt. Na'Vi desperate to take it into another round of OT. And seized, nade in hand. Modi puts his down first. Stays alive well. Na'Vi, would you dare go quickly? You feeling that brave? I wouldn't be.
No, Nico playing up close there as well. Na'Vi still could have made a run if they'd smoked up that broken wall area, and Simple now a bit of an off angle here. This is quite nice. Straight above the smoke. Flashed, forced to back up. A little bit of chip damage going across from both these two sides. Simple being spotted out, but it doesn't matter. Nico falls. That's the opening Na'Vi needed. That's the lifeline in this game. But Modi gets 2 in drop room. Na'Vi been stopped in their tracks trying to make their way towards this B side. And now at the smoke, Valda jumps across. Simple. There's no way he saw that. There's no way he's getting away with this at all. And Valda.
Oh, no.
Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. He falls. Guardian response. Mana vanish for Heroic. Time ticking down for Na'Vi.
All right, the classic duo, Edward and Guardian. Edward, Mr. Consistent, always seems to be there. A bit of a rock, a bit of a solid entity for Na'Vi and Guardian. Show me what you can do here. You have 47 seconds to keep your hope alive in this matchup. 3 players stand in their way. Modi's one, Yugi another, and here goes Edward straight in, no fear. 35 seconds now, clock's ticking. Guardian's got the bombs, he's the final piece, he's the VIP. You got to escort in. Guardian's trying to clear it out. Oh, he spots the first. First victim down is Modi, it's a 2v2.
Guardian, now with that AWP as well, wants to play forward. There still needs to be a plant from Na'Vi. Heroic don't have to peek this. They can sit back, they can wait, but it doesn't matter. They offer themselves up at a silver platter, and it is the dynamic duo, Guardian and Edward, to claim it for Na'Vi. They keep themselves alive, and we get a 3rd overtime. Heroic knew Na'Vi needed to plant. They wanted to finish it there, and that was ultimately their undoing. 3 overtimes, why not?
That's a round that you're going to look back on and be frustrated at being Heroic. You shouldn't be losing that. You had good positions, you allowed them to play into it. The first is forgivable, I guess, but the that's so rough.
So high pressure as well at this stage for them as well. And even for Heroic, or maybe they don't even realize the impact of this game on anything, because these teams have to start their games at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're Heroic and Na'Vi, you're just focused on the game in hand. You're not thinking about those external factors. You're just here like, all right, through the motions we go. Let's get this one under the belt. But all right, back in, no messing, no breaks. It's Na'Vi on the T side, so they continue this. They have to keep up that form they've just found.
And what's the change now for Heroic? The first overtime, it was their CT side that kept them alive. The second overtime, the T side was what almost won them the game. Where do you go from here? Maybe a middle ground. Maybe some balance in the life of a CS Pro might be required. But for now, Na'Vi with 4 players over towards this A side of the map here. And where's Yuki? That's the question. He's actually playing on A as well, so we can really stump them on this play. Around the corner with Snappy now, 1 and done. That's the way it has to be. There was actually no chance for a refrag on the second there for Heroic. They're already backing up and taking defensive positions. This is fine for Na'Vi.
Yugi, though, still can be a thorn in their side if he can get a couple of kills here. Certainly not out of the realm of possibility. He's been playing well, but Edward's going to tip the odds favorably.
Great swing.
And yeah, that's the Yugi we want to be looking at, seeing what he can achieve. It's down to, again, Guardian last man standing, and I don't know if he's going to be able to do it this time. Nice positioning, though, from the heels. Going to find Nico. It's a 1v2. Bomb, not far off, and he's just going to have to fight his way through, but not going to happen. Yugi quicker on the trigger, and Hero get the first one on the board in triple OT.
And Yuki, who's just been really lifting so far in this part of the game, is 37 and 21 so far. Fantastic from him in these last few rounds. A huge front runner for Heroic. So, first round done. CT side for Heroic now seems to be okay. And you can see, at 10K, MR3, even after losing that first round, you're kind of pressured economically speaking as well. It's like, we don't have a full suite of economy for all of Na'Vi, not to the full degree. Only Guardian, to be fair, is lacking, but the next round will be even harder for him. It doesn't work out. Spend a lot of money here. Oh, that timing was lovely.
He stayed boosted? Modi, you're a gutsy man, my friend.
But then that's where you throw this stuff in at this part of the game. That's why they go for counter boosts as well.
He's been delivering. Okay, that moment when he dropped off the tree was just kind of shambolic in that final moment, but he was not even got that round to be impossible. There's 2 kills he got in drop. This one again, he's finding these moments. If only he was able to keep his cool in that final one in second OT, but not to be. Man advantage though sits with Heroic. You can imagine FaZe are sweating bullets, just going, why did you peek that? Why did you play this out? Just in the back of their minds, it's got to be everyone on tenterhooks.
The last thing you want to be doing as a pro player already is vicariously living through another team who's losing. It's like, well, I'm just doubling down on the disappointing part. But that's Guardian up close. He trades that one out. Yugi has been so on point. Valda needs to receive this one well, and he does. This is going to leave Na'Vi with not much of a leg to stand on, but Edward and Simple on 2 different sides of the map are making it happen, or 2 different sides of A, and now Heroic have to scrabble to respond.
Yeah, Valley was there quickly, but very alone. And how are they losing this?
It's a 4v2.
And they've lost it. Na'Vi, I guess Heroic just didn't expect it to happen, but now it's on Yuki, the guy who has been going toe-to-toe with Guardian, but I think you can kind of, I guess, write this one into the hands of Na'Vi, but he's found a route through. He's hearing these steps.
He's got
Would
time.
you expect both players here? That's the big problem, is you wouldn't. Again, a bit of an off angle as well, to say the very least. Between Simple and Edward, they pulled this one back in. 2 kills between each of them, so big round. 22-22, we're all even.
Heroic now as well have the money to buy back up here, but neither team has actually really been forced to sacrifice too much, except there's UMPs here for Valda and Nico. They'd be kicking themselves, Lauren. They'd absolutely be kicking themselves after such a good opening. Yugi trades out well for Guardian. The kill came in from Valda over towards Connector, and you're in pole position, but Na'Vi, with their last 2 players, surged on A and managed to win out both of their opening duels in that site. That's stuff you can't script, that's stuff you can't always count on either. But Na'Vi, it was there.
A little bit of an exchange in drop. Modi being forced out now. Has to back away, play from the window. Nico with the deep smoke towards Plateau, trying to play that late control game, kind of deny Guardian the play out. And there it is, going to force him off. Buy a bit of time here. It does allow Nico to push up, actually. This is nice. It gives away he's pushed up because he's obviously pre-firing like this. That's the shot. Simple, going to crack open that first player. Mount Molly goes in from Valdi. No smoke there just yet, and you can see the full sight hit coming through. Good counter flashes from Heroic, though, keeping them at bay. The Molly has really slowed them down. Valdi's going for that peak. That's very brave. Needs to fall off this one or do something outstanding. No. And now Molly's just depending on that smoke to keep him alive in the angle. The nade will finish the job. We're in a 3v4. Again, this could be big. Molly is out there in the open. Yugi tries to make a shot happen, doesn't get it. Can't back away safely. Has to fight his way out. 9 seconds now. They're running out of time. Yugi's now surrounded. 1 is not enough. Na'Vi get to 23 on the half.
You'll have to wonder as well what happens if Yuki doesn't commit to that and sits in Connector. Perhaps Na'Vi still get to, plant obviously behind that statue, but still. Na'Vi come out better over on that half. Their T side again seem to prevail.
And during the break, please go over to any of the FaZe guys' Twitters and just enjoy the panic and the memes. Just take this time right now during the half. Head on over there. It's a space imitable.
It's not a fun position to be in.
No, it's horrible. It's horrible depending on other people. It's never wanted, never needed. And this is the thing, you always throw your mind back to the early season. You think, why couldn't we just win one more game? One map. One of those silly maps where we just didn't play well. It
Why
always comes
couldn't
back to
we,
haunt you.
I don't know, win that extra map against Hellraisers?
Yep.
For example.
Yep, no, it's all there. That's where all these feelings come back. You're just like, God, why is this? Why do we have to depend on others? But still, 23-22. Heroics T side, now this gets put under question.
Well, Na'Vi again have shown up, made their T side work for them here. Heroic have to do the same. Single AWP again. So Na'Vi have gone away from the double AWP strat in overtime here. They're not sort of giving that to Simple. They're sort of more happy. And that's also because as well they've stacked B with 4 players here. Guardian, that lone player over on A. Sees, takes down Valda first here. More to receive, I'm sure, in this drop room. And it's good read from Na'Vi. Now that those players are in drop, they've committed at least to Connector or this B site. Edward needs to prepare himself for either eventuality. You can see that's why he changes his position. Counter boost up in, absolutely cheeky. They've got time though. They make these moves quicker than Na'Vi do, and these options are available to them for that reason.
Makes Yugi play safe now, puts him off of this one. Smoke comes in, denies a little bit of the play that maybe Modi would have wanted. Still a minute on the board. They're actually playing back in.
Modi's lucky to get out there. I mean, yeah, you've got to make split-second decisions now. Modi was kind of trapped into staying at B with that molly up, and almost got taken down as well because Edward chased him into the smoke. Modi made the correct move by getting out of it onto the other side. 4v4. This is quite a bizarre round, actually. There's 3 players now on platform, and Edward's got himself set up here. The more time this takes for Heroic, the less chance they'll check this corner.
It's all on Nico to molly him out as well, if they actually do it, as Modi is the player in drop, so we'll see if they do this. If they check on it, please do. They're not actually looking at this one. You line them up, and Edward's going to drop them out. This looks good, unless Modi can do something superhuman at this point. No, Edward's having none of it. One more on the board is all Na'Vi really needs.
Well, that's exactly all they need, Lauren, at this stage. They have the advantage now, as Heroic did in that second overtime. Just got to win 2 rounds, or 1 round on the CT side. They've got to win 1 of 2 rounds is what I mean to say. It's getting late here, let's be honest.
It is.
After midnight, that's fine. Still life we lead. Now have a look at the arsenal of the 2 teams. No one's really wanting for anything. You would maybe like a couple of extra bits and pieces, but the next round, Heroic don't even have. If they lose this one out here, they have to force anyway for this one. So that's fine.
Do or die time, boys and girls. Heroic, if you have anything up your sleeve, any last trick to bring out, this is your moment to put into play. It's a little bit slower, a little bit different, a little bit more of a lean towards A.
Conversely, this is where Na'Vi could just throw a weird spanner into the works, something that Heroic couldn't possibly prepare for. Simple plays in the corner, though. He's receiving now towards A long. He gets a second. That's big. Yugi managed to trade out, I think, a kill in towards Danger or elsewhere across the map. Guardian's down anyway. That's what's important, but Edward finds Modi. This could be all but done, and Na'Vi get themselves alive in this one. Simple on towards Yugi, and it's Valda on his own. And he doesn't have a look in towards this side. The bomb is so far away. It's not possible to win these kind of rounds in general, but he's found seized. It's a long road to hoe from here on out. He doesn't know there's a player off towards his left side, but the spray's very good. Edward's going to lie in wait. This is getting a little bit more dicey than it really should be. That's going to be it. Na'Vi managed to win this one out. And they keep themselves with that chance for playoff contention, or at least make it real interesting, Lauren.
Yeah, this gets a little bit interesting now. I think that we'll need everyone to break down the possibilities that were and that now are, of course, in the Pro League. Yeah, but what a heartbreaking moment for a couple of teams throughout this one as well, because considering FaZe were up in their last match that they played and then they lost out, but I can hear myself and it's horrible. Oh my God, this is how you guys feel? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, sorry to inflict that on you. So at this stage, I mean, we're done. We've obviously seen a lot of matches. If you just joined us now, you're wondering what this is. This was a conference stream. We went around the grounds and caught some very interesting games. But I mean, interesting story that FaZe versus G2. Envy versus Stratus also gave some very odd results.
Yeah, I'm not going to try and even guess what the top 6 is now and the defining points as to what makes it, because I think that's exactly what Moses and Sponge will be doing in a moment's time once it's all confirmed, because again, the admins are working tirelessly now to go through all the possibilities and as to what happens. I think they're actually ready for it.
Yeah, let's head over to the boys, and that's all from us. So thank you, gentlemen. What have you got for us after that ridiculous finish of the night?
It's not all for you. You're gonna hang out there in the picture-in-picture, and you're gonna chill. No, they're not. All right.
Sweet boys.
Shame.
Well, why don't we
just
just talk at them?
Yeah, we can't. I want to know about.
They're gone now.
Damn. I wanted to know. Mitch said something about having to eat 12-year-old porridge with his grandmother. That was.
He also
there's got to be an interesting story.
Flaccid.
He did speak a lot about Flaccid things.
Yeah.
Speaking of Flaccid, that'd be FaZe tonight.
And Astralis.
And Astralis. Hate to see it.
Yeah, considering they're 2 of the most exciting teams, and that rivalry right now is amazing to watch and evolve, the fact that we won't get to see it in Dallas is kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you could basically call it, the number 1 and the number 2 teams in the world at the moment.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, yeah, as far as I understand things, which might not be perfectly accurate, those 2 teams are out. We're going to bring up the standings right now, though, and these should be completed. These should be the final standings for the season. North, G2, Mouse Sports, Fnatic, Envy, and Na'Vi are the 6 teams that make the ESL Pro League playoffs in Dallas, Texas. That's good stuff.
I'm going to do my best to explain this so people at home can understand why the round difference is higher on both Astralis and FaZe, but the Team Envious and Na'Vi go through. it's based on those 4 teams are tied, right? So it creates a mini league between the results of those 4 teams only.
Yeah.
Now, within that situation, Envious obviously 2-0 to Astralis, so they're beating them in the head-to-head of the mini-league, whatever. So it just works out with the head-to-head results that Team Envious and Na'Vi are ahead of FaZe and Astralis, which I don't think anybody would have predicted. I definitely didn't think that would be happening at the start of the night. Astralis are going to be kicking themselves because, you know, playing Envy, sure, it's not an easy beat, but you'd much prefer to go up against them than, say, like the G2s of the world or playing against, like, Fnatic or something. You would have much preferred to have played Envy to secure yourself a spot in the finals.
Yeah, and I think every other team who made these playoffs is going to be thanking G2 and thanking Envy for beating FaZe and beating Astralis and saying, we don't have to deal with them. I mean, those are the guys that have won, won 2 of the last 3 events, and they're just saying, all right, thanks. Thanks for taking them out of the equation in the online portion. Speaking of G2, play of the day.
Was it Kenny?
We were having a really good time with this play. Yeah, it is Kenny.
Yeah.
It is Kenny's op ace, so we're going to check that out. We'll get that up. You can see here. This is some vintage Kenny. The double there is just very nice.
I love how he just keeps re-peeking. He's just so confident in that fact that he's just going to keep getting the kills, and he does, and then hunts this last one down and makes it look really easy.
Yeah, I mean, as he usually does when he's in this kind of a form, he just makes it look far, far too easy. Even waste the Molotov there, style points.
Yeah, and then he bought a smoke in the following round and had a HE2 flashes in the smoke. I probably would have stuck with the Molotov.
Keep the Molotov,
yeah,
for sure.
Pretty valuable.
We'll have to have a chat with Kenny before the finals.
Maybe he had a
Can't
plan.
be making those plays.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, anything else crazy sticking out? I mean, obviously, Astralis in FaZe is going to be the one that shadows everything.
Yeah. LDLC staying out of relegation.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they get to survive until next season.
I thought they
probably.
had a pretty interesting season, all things considered, with
Yeah.
Maniac having a little bit rolling back the years. Good to see them staying in Pro League.
They had a couple of big upsets. The thing is, if we...
Well,
you go.
I think speaking of upsets, one of the things that if you're like a FaZe and looking back, was it FaZe that lost 2-0 to Kinguin at one point?
Let me bring it up. I was just going to look at the Astralis one, but we can do the FaZe one as well.
Yeah, because I mean this is basically what you do. You look back over the season and see all the losses that you should have just never had, and that is going to be one. Kinguin beating them twice.
They lost to Kinguin 16-6, 16-8 in the opener of the season, and that's probably still when they had Jacob.
Yeah, they didn't have Nico.
They didn't have Nico then, and then so they lost one map to Envious. They got 2-0 by Na'Vi.
That's a killer as well for the tiebreak.
Yeah, LDLC took a map off them. That's one of the upsets we were talking about from them. Lost a map to Astralis, no big deal there. Lost a map to Fnatic, not really a problem. Lost a map to Mouse, and then obviously getting 2-0'd this evening by G2. So
tough.
Yeah, and then if you look at the Astralis one, which is the other upset one we're talking about, theirs is like they did everything they should have, right? It's teams you'd consider them to maybe 1-1 with. So they 1-1 with Na'Vi, they 1-1 with Mouse. They did get 2-0'd by VP, right? So that was pretty rough for them.
That was when they had Zonic standing in as well.
That's right. Why was that?
That was when... I don't remember why. That was for Device, though, wasn't it? Device had something, I think.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. That's going to haunt them as well. You know,
yeah, I hate to see that.
Jeez. And then, yeah, they had a couple of other results, like 1-1 with North, 1-1 with FaZe. Then they were 2-0'd by G2.
They did go through that stretch where they're like on Twitter saying we just can't seem to win 2 in a row, 2 maps in these series. Heartbreak for both teams. We're almost done with the show. What we're going to do is bring up the North American standings just so you get one last glimpse. If you want to stay awake, if for some reason you just had an energy drink and you just can't sleep, SK and Immortals, 2 Brazilian teams locked in already. A chance for a third. Luminosity sitting at 6th to stay in there. Liquid in a good shout to qualify. Same with Cloud9. I think Cloud9 just has to win 1 map.
I think Liquid are playing Luminosity, right? So that's going to be a really interesting match. I think Luminosity are definitely going to need those victories if they want to stay in that top 6. Optic are playing against Complexity, so you would consider them a fair chance to get up to 15 wins, right? And put them really in contention for that top 6. I forget who NRG are playing. I think it's Cloud9, right? If Cloud9 managed to 2-0 them, that's going to push them down and potentially out of that top 6. And it's going to get messy there too. I
think that, I mean, Optic, you have to say, with all the struggles they've had, not having a 5th player for the majority of the season, losing their in-game leader as well, them getting into the playoffs at any point is...
good for
them. It's
pretty
impressive. One thing we didn't touch on that we wanted to, just quickly before we sign off, because I know it's getting late.
Great minds.
Is the way that the groups and seedings are going to work.
Can we bring up the standings again for EU?
Which one would you like?
EU, please.
Yeah. I'll click my standings button.
Oop.
Any moment now. There
we go. Okay, so if this seeding here is correct, which I'm going to assume it's going to be relatively close to being correct, North, Mouse, and Na'Vi will all be in the same group. So that's seeds 1, 3, and 5. And then the other group will have G2, Fnatic, and Envious. Okay, so that means G2, Fnatic, and Envious will be in the same group as SK, as they're the top seed
As
of the
1, 3
North American
yeah.
region. And then that will have, 1, 3,
So
and
1,
5.
3, and 5 from Europe plays 2, 4, and 6 from NA, and it's vice versa.
Yes, exactly, Jason.
Yeah.
Well,
We did that well.
yeah.
Good job. That's going to be it for us. That's actually it for the entire season. Next week is going to be all the relegation matches, so it's kind of not over just yet. But thanks for sticking with us all these past months while we had a good time here in Cologne.
It was a long time.
It was a long time, and we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
See you later.